All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Pop Culture Corner. Today, I am very pleased to bring one of our favorite people on in, Mr. John Garza. How's it going, buddy?
Man, you know what? Those are high accolades, man. I appreciate that. It's going well, man. I'm excited about it. I haven't watched BVS in probably
like a week.
Yeah, because like Avery, my daughter Avery, she watches this while she's doing homework. Like she puts it on because it's it's HBOmax, so she's sitting there running it just constantly.
Right.
I'm sure if anybody if they're monitoring my account, they're looking at Avery's sub account, going, "God, does she watch anything else?" And
like this girl loves BVS.
Yeah, she loves BVS, man. She hasn't put it down. I always feel like there was that one time, it was a movie on Netflix or something that it was some horrible, shitty movie. And somebody had came out and it was Netflix and said this user account watched this shitty movie for a while. I was like, God, why are you shaming that dude? Damn.
It was one time. It was a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just left on and I left,
Right.
They'll never let you forget that shit.
Yeah. So I did want to let everyone know that originally what we were going to do was we were going to do it like a watch party. We were going to switch just to Twitch, switch just to Periscope. However, we have decided against that. We assume that everyone here, and I, make an ass out of you and me, whatever. But we're assuming everyone has HBO Max, and we want to keep the show on YouTube. We also want to be able to transfer it to our podcast platforms. So unfortunately, we're not going to be sharing our screen today. I know. I don't know how. I don't want to say that that's a bad thing, right? I want to do it like this because I want the show on YouTube, and I don't want to lose that aspect of it. So we decided as a team to do it this way. Garza didn't really have a say in the matter, just didn't. But we're gonna do it this way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna line it up, and we'll let you guys know when to hit play. That way we can keep the show here, and we'll still talk about it, do the commentary. And I think that's the most important part. So I'd rather stay here on YouTube. Is the moral of the story.
Okay. I mean, Ill Life's with it.
I see that.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody's happy about it. We kind of figured you guys were gonna be mad that you can't just watch a movie for free like usual. But I promise next Friday we'll be right back to our normal watch party shit that we be doing.
Yeah. So so if you guys so we'll start it in I'd say we'll give it a 5-minute run, 5-minute catch up, and then we can start and do that. But so Garza, we haven't really got to talk to you about all the promotional stuff that Zack's been putting up. What are your thoughts been on that?
Man, that's why I was actually watching Watchmen before this. I've always thought that as far as visually is concerned, Watchmen is just on another level.
Right.
Looks like a fucking comic. Oh, the visuals are so just that's funny. And so one of the things I'm noticing looking at these Snyder Cut, these Justice League images, they look so comic book accurate. It's weird. It's almost like this.
Oh.
It's like they're like painted on or something. I can't describe it, but it's on another level, dude. And I am shocked as somebody that has watched Justice League a gross amount of times like I have. Believe me, I'm shocked. I can't fathom anybody going, nah, that looks like shit. I don't want to put that in. Let's just go ahead and take all that out. And
yeah, my thing is kind of the same thing as the executive that sat down and said, you know what, this isn't the movie for us. Not digging what you're putting down, Zack. All these really beautiful images. not our style. So we're gonna wipe all those away, and we're gonna start the movie with a CGI upper lip Henry Cavill, and
Yeah.
I think that will really look good. Like who the fuck whose idea was that?
I don't, and that's why I'm saying, like, it's so in my head, it's so insane to even think about that.
Right.
How could you even go? But this movie was epic. But you know what? Let's go ahead and scrub all that real quick. You know what, Josh? Though, how about we just start off with some of your scenes? I think we should do that. Like, dude, it's going to be an embarrassment for somebody that has plans on doing this. I mean, dude, when the trailer comes out tomorrow, all the scenes that are basically from the original movie, I'm going to have, and you'll be able to see the differences, right?
Okay.
So when the film comes out, I'm going to do it like my periodic table that I've done.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it to where it's a new edition, to where it's like, this is how embarrassing Josh Whedon was, what he did, because it's one thing that they had to use new scenes from Josh.
Right.
But when they're the same scenes, and we're going to see a difference between how Zack can do it and how he did it. You get what I mean? Like,
right.
It's going to be, this is the first time we're going to be able to say, this is what a real director does.
Exactly. What are you most, all right. So this is like really hard fucking question, because I had a hard time answering it last night and I was so sorry that you weren't on Vodka stream last night.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man.
You and Dave are, so I'd say you and Dave are probably my favorite parts of going on there. And then, right after that, it's the other guys. I love you all. It was like a different crowd when I went in last night. It was just like,
yeah,
how's going on?
yeah. No, it definitely was a different crowd. And that's good. That's good though. Cause you always want variety.
Right.
Because, at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that they were talking about last night is stuff that I probably wouldn't have even, I would have talked a little bit about stuff, but they were talking about a lot of stuff that I enjoyed listening to the conversation versus being involved. And that's the nice thing about it, is that you can listen to other people and not have to feel like, no, I need to go in there. I need to tell them what I'm thinking.
Right.
It felt good,
Yeah. It's nice to it was a nice, refreshing, vodka stream. And I'm glad that someone brought up the Sean O'Connell thing to Jarbo, because I kind of wanted to. All drama aside, I'm glad it got answered, and I'm glad it got talked about. Jarbo's Jarbo, and he's not. That's that's one of the things that I do agree with him on, is maybe the mining of the quotes and stuff, and I'm just glad someone, it kind of got cleared up, or we at least knew why things were put out there like that. So it was a refreshing vodka stream. It's just sad that you weren't there.
Yeah.
That's
but
right.
You know what though? Tomorrow when we're talking live, when we break down, dude, it's going to be I don't know if I'm ready for it. And then I don't know if, I was thinking about it, I don't even know if I'm
right.
I can't imagine. And what we're going to get to with BVS, it's such a political thing. For the first hour and a half, it's like a political based film.
Right.
And so with Justice League, I'm like, dude, this is going to be some, it's going to be straight up comic book. There's no it's going to be wild. I'm so excited.
Definitely. With that being said, I think we should, if everyone can start and get their HBOmax fueled up. I have to search for BVS. I had it lined up, but I had to kick back. So I think so everyone should get on the little title sequence where it has the blue box of BVS, and then the play button right underneath it.
Oh yeah, okay.
There it is, right under the Big Bang Theory. Beautiful. So you see what I'm talking about? It has the blue box outline and then like the little play button in the corner. I'm dead. Did Josh Gad talk? No, that was,
yeah, that was wild.
Someone, I forget who said, I think it was Enosh. He was like talking to me. He's like, oh, you don't have to be scared. Josh Gad can't touch you anymore. And I was like, really? Really?
Yeah, it's funny because Zack is on Vero, like just liking shit. It's funny, man.
Yeah, it's good to see him interacting.
Yeah, like I just posted up. I was gonna watch BBS. He already liked it. I'm like, dude, just stop, stalker.
Aww.
You know? Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Stalker. All right, so it's everybody at that queued area. Yes? No?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's there? All right, so we can hit play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Know if my system is too loud or.
All right. I'm watching it in the studio. Unfortunately, I can't watch it with the Yamaha. Things fall.
By the way, the best part about this opening, and somebody that watched this the first time when I saw this, I was interested because I was like, okay, I guess we're about to go see the origin of Bruce Wayne, right?
Right.
So what I thought was so brilliantly done, Zack emphasizes is not only the camaraderie with the family, right, with Bruce,
right.
There's like subtleties that you see, right? You have leaves falling, you have the snow falling, you have the sparks falling. All of that is a motif, right? It's all there to show you that this is him. And like you said, once it's fallen, right?
Yep.
We don't realize it. So when he falls down, that the first time I believe, ever his parents get shot.
Yeah.
You have the sparks falling down, and but one of the things I like about this version is that the reason why they get shot is because of his father being the one that's aggressive towards
the robber. Yeah.
Chill.
Hell yeah.
So that's why. So he falls right there. And then the next time we see him, he gets his dad. And so that's interesting to think of because you don't realize that that's what Bruce has in his head. Like that's how he sees the world.
Yeah.
Right? Aggressive towards it. So now that he's falling and you don't realize, like, you can't really appreciate it unless you like watch it enough, but it's like a painting basically.
Yeah. I can't. And I love seeing, like, even in the Ultimate Edition, I still like when, like, it shows Jenna Malone's name and it shows all the people, like the names of the people who are cut out. And it's just like right from the beginning, this is, you know what I mean? This is a different movie. Well, not a different movie, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, Drip, have you ever seen an opening like this?
Oh, he's muted. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Why was I muted? Why was I muted?
Because
he was trying to sabotage you. He didn't want you to talk shit. That's all.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I have. I can't think of any like specifics off the top of my head, but I have. I've seen artsy kind of openings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
and not. I'll give you this much. Not in a comic film.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, and again, I wasn't asking like, this is where I when I first watched it, I was kind of like, okay, are we gonna go into like opening with Bruce and all that. But then all of a sudden, the moment we see him like start getting circled, one that kind of in my head, I was like, dude, he's paying a homage to Chris Nolan. You know what I mean? With the bats going around Bruce.
Okay, interesting.
And then, yeah, and then
probably the movie.
Yeah, the bat.
Yeah, in the movie.
Is that the movie?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the bats. Okay.
Oh, so when I saw this part, you know, and it's funny because Chris Nolan's name pops up in the credits at this point.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah. So when I see him start lifting, I'm like, oh, okay, he's dreaming. You know what I mean? So, like anybody that was paying attention should have known that. And even look at the silhouette; it almost looks like a bat right in the middle. And so, what's beautiful about this is that, again, Bruce comes in and he says, "This is what I thought I was supposed to do," but it was, sorry, like he knows after 20 years, fucked up.
Yeah. Look, I'll give you this much: visually, the man's on point. I'll give you that. Visually, it's a great spectacle. It's really a sight to see. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So what did you think of how it tied Man of Steel into BVS like this?
Say that one more time.
What were your thoughts on seeing Man of Steel's ending again in BVS?
I loved it.
Oh! From that from Bruce's perspective, that was excellent. That was excellent. You got that. That's a great scene. That's excellent. And I really much starting this movie off. I was like, oh, I'm in for a good time. I was hyped, and I think that's why I'm like extra bitter because I started off having a great time, and then immediately went down the shithole. You know what I mean?
And I've always understood what Justice felt about the movie. Like, I did. I showed empathy for why he may have felt that way. I just like. I don't know. It was different, right? Like some of the scenes, like I knew there was something missing. Like in my heart.
Scene right there that just happened. That's my favorite because I linked it up with a shot in Man of Steel and there, and it's like on point. Anyways, sorry. Go on. Were you gonna keep going, Ty?
No. I felt I even when I was watching it in theaters, like coming out of Man of Steel. And seeing that film, like, then seeing BVS in the theatrical version, like you could feel that something was missing. Like Zack didn't get to include everything he wanted. Like in my heart, subliminally somewhere, I knew something was wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Something didn't fit tonally, or from every other Snyder film that I've seen that he got to do his thing. Like this theatrical something was gone. And, you know, then we learned that was true. And I was like, I knew it. Like, I knew something wasn't right.
So one of the things I am looking forward to and so the point of view thing, that was always going to be like a way that he would. But to see it in Justice League's perspective, this right here, getting to see inside that building.
Yeah.
That is some. Bruce has no idea who's shooting the lasers or heat vision. He has no idea what's going on. You know, you got to imagine that he's not anticipating that the building's all of a sudden. So, the fact that he's hopeless again, right? Because here's the thing: the whole reason why this is shown now, after when he lost his parents, because at that point in time, he was helpless. He couldn't do anything.
Right, and I like the scene where the Wayne employee is praying to God while God destroys the building.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's truly.
We have a horse, the horse motif that.
Yep. By the way, to everyone watching, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. We're always doing lately we've been doing a lot more watch parties, and our good friend Garza can sometimes come in and educate Justice the way I can't.
I will say this: hearing the teacher, like when she walks up and she's like, everybody buddy hands.
Yep.
Damn, dude. Like, you hear it in her voice, and that's the thing. It's that little small part that you go,
unbelievable.
Imagine how heavy that beam is.
Right?
Funny that her little red jacket looks like a cape.
Ooh. What did you think about the rumor that she would grow up to be? Who was it? Who were they saying that she would grow up to be?
Carrie Kelly.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be cool. That'd be cool, but I mean, that'd be wild. Let's put it that way.
It would be wild, yeah.
But he would literally. I mean, she's what, 6 years old?
Right. So
it would have to be. I mean, he's already 45, quote unquote. So it would have to be what, another.
Right. And I love the pain in Bruce's eyes when he looks up at Superman, and he just, he knows that he knows what his objective becomes at that point.
And what's crazy about this opening too is that it feels like a comic book opening.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we're transported to this tropical place, and then we're seeing this doctor looking for something, and we're not really sure what it is, but
when we find out.
Right, and I remember seeing that shot in the trailer. I was like, "What the fuck are they?"
Right,
and it's like, "Oh, that is."
So we watched Justice League last night for a watch party, and like we're kind of like just going through like doing kind of like a farewell tour for it, and it really is like I haven't watched it in probably like a year and a half almost, and to go back and see it like with the perspective that I have now is just it's truly such a hideous slapped together mess.
So this part, Justice, literally the crux of everything. This is the entire film right here.
Right.
Whole plot, everything. Because this is how you get to a. How do you tell Superman he can or can't do?
Right. And
I think the only way you can do that is with this.
Yeah. And Justice, this is the first of like the extra footage.
So, how'd you land it? It's like pioneer stuff. Mama Jug's never given an interview. How'd you land it? Nobody here knows us. We're on assignment together.
Somebody said that guy's Jimmy Olsen.
It is. Well,
it is.
Apparently. I mean,
he immediately gets his brains blown out.
Yeah, but Jimmy Olsen wasn't going to have any time in this world. Like, we're not going to see a Jimmy Olsen movie. Here's the thing. Yeah. He's a CIA agent, right? So he says, "Oh, well, Huron got held up. I'm Jimmy Olsen. I'm a photographer, obviously, right?" Well, he could literally be using that name as an alias because that is at the.
Oh, yeah.
There's a way that you can go. Yeah, there's a way that could easily be not the real Jimmy Olsen.
True.
Specifically because when he does get shot, all the military says is Talon's down. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't ever say his real name. They don't say anything like that. And we know that he's obviously not a photographer because when they literally nothing on the film. Maybe if I speak closer.
This man was nothing except love of my people.
Who's paying for these security contractors, General?
Based on the truth, it's not possible I had tonight.
Policy, acting principle.
I don't know. You just exposed.
My daughter says every time she watches the scene, she's going, I would have at least taken some photo just so I could. She's funny, man.
Your daughter sounds like one of the coolest people I know.
Man, I'm telling you, man, she is. Like, she's legit. She loves this scene. She loves everything about this because she's like, loves KGBs. You know what I mean? Yeah, so the fact that the CIA, what Lois just said was, U.S. government, we're not involved, policy and principle. Like, we're not here to do anything, and then all of a sudden they find out CIA's there.
Right.
So what does that mean? Okay, well, CIA's acting against anybody else's will, right? Transition though, right? From the aerial footage?
Right.
Python, we have lost our asset on the ground. Repeat, we've lost our asset on the ground.
Still civilian compound. We'll extract her.
Justice, wait till you see how much this flows so much better.
There'll be friendlies in the blast zone, so. Oh, the goddamn
What else this also demonstrates is that even a normal person is willing to go save Lois, just like Superman is, right?
Right.
So what would have happened if he would have gotten there and saved Lois? Would the government have reacted? Now, granted, would he have been able to? Doesn't matter, but like he says, ignorance is not the same as innocence, right?
It's coming.
Round 2 lights. Passing Python. Down.
Love this shot because it's basically outside. It's basically like an Injustice on camera.
Target locked. We're clear to engage. On top, within range. Target locked. 3, 2, 1.
What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The fuck? Why is Superman so fucking aggressive? Jesus Christ. My God. Does that look like a friendly superhero to you? Because it doesn't to me. He looks
Right now,
aggressive.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yes, dude.
Smart.
He
Just
doesn't
explain
look.
it.
No, I'm sorry.
Dude, Drip.
No,
I'm telling you,
I'm sorry. He's horrifying. He's so
You
scary.
saw a guy holding your girlfriend at fucking point blank with a gun to her
guess so.
head. You'd be like this. Hey, what's up, buddy?
No,
Fuck no.
no,
Fuck
no.
You'd be like this.
No, that's not.
I'd heat vision him. I wouldn't even give him an opportunity to
Right?
keep him alive.
And
I'd
the only
fuck him up.
And the only reason I wouldn't heat vision maybe is because I wouldn't want to singe my beautiful woman's
Right.
hair.
Right. But Drip, though, this is the important part, right? So we know what happened, right? But they don't know. They don't know who was shooting because they were in the compound. All the guys are shot. They're all burned. You don't know. Like, we know what Superman's power set is, but they don't. So all they're seeing is a pile of dead bodies. Superman shows up. These people are dead. We don't know what happened. She doesn't know what really happened because she was inside, right? All she hears is shooting. She doesn't know if he was there yet.
Wait. Quick question, right? If you shoot somebody, right? Okay, so the whole point was, right? They shoot everybody, they kill everybody in the compound, and then they burn them to a crisp to like kind of frame Superman, right? So they think it's like his heat vision. Okay,
Yes,
if you put 10 automatic rounds into a body and then set it on fire, there's still going to be bullets. You're still going to be able to tell that these bodies were shot.
Why are they burned then?
They're in a third world country.
You think if you see a bunch of corpses with bullet holes and then afterwards were burned alive, you're immediately gonna go to it was Superman?
Well, you have it right here. This is the whole reason why. Because Kahina is saying this is what happened. Like he is responsible for the situation.
My point exactly. Why are they blaming Superman? There's bullets and bullet holes everywhere.
Justice.
Because that's what Lex is doing. That's Lex. That's right there.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got Kahina basically lying under oath, telling them Superman is responsible for this.
I see. Okay, I see. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
I see what you mean. But I still see a hole in that.
But at the end of the day, that like you and I, we're looking at it going, well, we know he didn't kill him. Why would that be crazy? Why the hell would they even? Why would they think he killed him? But they don't know his power set.
Now, a fight breaks out in Gotham City. You know how they are about their football team. Things could get ugly in the city tonight.
It's like comic shit. There, dude.
That's funny. No, that's funny. Gotham's a piece of shit. It's supposed to be a piece of shit.
Right? Now, here's what's interesting about this is that, keep in mind that one of them is a rookie cop, one of them is an older cop, right? So,
dude. Oh my God. So, guys, this scene, right? I was fucking hyped. I was hyped. I was like, yo, this is awesome. I love this. I was so fucking into it. And then at the very end, all you had to do is just kind of wrap it up. And the last thing we see is Ben in the corner, just kind of fucking hanging on the wall. I was like, oh my, and it just completely ruined it for me. It was the silliest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I was so angry.
Well, here's what I think they went for. I don't know if this is the case or not, but it felt like, okay, so if you have these ladies calling him a devil, right?
Yeah.
It was meant to be like a horror intro. Like,
oh yeah, most definitely. And I got that vibe too. Most definitely. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I definitely got that vibe.
I enjoy it. I love it. But I'm just like sitting there in the corner. I'm like, how the fuck is he up there? Like,
that's what I'm saying. And then he crawls out of the roof. And I was like, Spider-Man. Yeah, like Spider-Man. All in all, though, with the exception of those two things I just mentioned, this is a great scene. I'll give you that. I was, like I said, I was hyped when I first saw this shit.
Well, and also what the whole point of it is to show you that, just like what they say, like the first thing is Jesus Christ, he branded him. And the reason why that's so important is because he's never done this before. And they're like, Jesus, dude, he's fucking branding these people now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for him, they're all going, what the fuck? And you heard him whenever he was like, I don't know who they are, or I don't know who he is. So you can just imagine him not giving a fuck and just like,
look, I'll put it this way, right, guys? So if this scene right here is an implication of what Zack will give me handling Batman, I'm all about it, right? I'm 100% into it because again, I love this scene. But my main issue, I don't think Zack should have his hands on everybody. I'm sorry. This scene right here is a perfect example of Zack Snyder's directing style. Fair?
Well, yeah, but I enjoy it, so.
Yeah, and as do I. But
this shit's epic.
Yes, I just said that. If this is a fair example of Zack Snyder's kind of direction style, and this is kind of his MO, do you think that fits for characters like Superman and Wonder Woman? Because I certainly don't.
You know why? And here's the reason why. Because if you wanted a happy-go-lucky Wonder Woman 84 is perfect.
No, it's not.
Exactly. That's my point. right? It's like, no, never mind.
But there's so much more than Pitch Black Dark and Goofy Happy Go Lucky. There's more than that. There's more options than that, right? Like 84 is not what I want, and this is not what I want either. You feel me?
No.
But you wouldn't be able to tell me that right now, even with Wonder Woman in this film, she's handled the same way that Batman is.
No, by no means. But she's only here for the end sequence. I'm more worried about things like that.
She's still here in the. Well, she's here in the in the museum scene and all that. But this scene is actually really important to Lois because this is what actually gets.
Oh
Lois.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Lois, dude, we wouldn't even have this. But I mean, by the way, I don't know. How far are you? How far back are you?
What do you mean?
I'm looking at Lois.
Oh, yeah, I rewinded it. That's what that was. We were basically on the same exact scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at Lois too.
I pushed it back 15 seconds because we were conversating. I missed the ending.
I'm getting right at 25.
Yeah, I just hit 25, 15.
But what I was going to say though is, this Lois scene and Lois, we would like, and I say we, but I mean the people in the film, Batman, all of them, none of them would know that Lex was responsible for that. So this is Superman saying, "Look, dude, I didn't do anything. Like, I don't. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like." And Lois is like, dude, they're having a hearing about you. And he's like, well, I don't care. That's not for me. I didn't do anything. I didn't kill nobody.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, it's like, well, nobody knows that. They all think you did. So that's why he's so like, just like, God damn, dude, like what? Oh, man. And that's why she's also kind of like, I don't know if you could be Superman and be me.
I get it. Right. The approach seems wrong, right? Like, for what I know Clark Kent's personality to be, if he got framed for something to this extent, especially when the whole point of him being Superman is to save people and help people, I don't think his immediate response would be not to prove himself innocent. Right, you know what I mean.
Well, the thing is, though, is that they're not. He doesn't know if anybody's framing him. They're just saying that he killed those people, and he's like, "I didn't kill them."
Well, didn't Lois just tell him that they're holding a hearing and they're blaming him?
Yeah, no, they say that's what he said, or that's what she said. She goes, "Hey, they held a press. They held a hearing, saying," and he's like, "I don't care what they're saying. Kill those men if that's what they think." Right? And so that's the whole important part. He's going, I didn't kill him. Like, what? And at that point in time, though, it's like, yeah, what are you going to do? Like, Superman. They sit there and go in front of the court and say, I didn't kill those people. It's like, what?
Yeah, I would absolutely think so. Absolutely. I would absolutely think so. Because I've never known Superman to think more of himself than us, right? If Superman got accused of something, I would think him to show up and prove himself innocent, or at least attempt. Like, hey, I can't shoot.
You literally have somebody telling the court that you killed all these people. Right. So what do you do? You just go,
I don't have the answer as to how, but I think he would at least attempt it. At least try to prove yourself, right? You don't even try. You just fuck it, whatever. I don't care what they think.
Yeah, exactly. Like who fucking cares? Like, I didn't kill those people. I know what they're doing. He doesn't know all of the story, though. That's the thing. That's the whole point. That's why Superman he gets in the position that he gets in, because he doesn't know. And you're right. He shouldn't be like that. That's exactly the whole purpose, is that he should be like, no, I need to go show up. I need to go tell them this isn't my fault. But he doesn't, because like you said, he doesn't really care. That's what I love about it.
And the for everybody in the comments, the Capitol scene, like I was also referring to that, because the Capitol scene blows up and then Superman does nothing to like prove
does.
that he didn't blow up the building. He just
He
lets
does.
everybody blame him.
They
Well,
didn't blame him for that.
yeah, they just
Superman didn't get blamed for the Capitol blowing up. When that
No,
whole
he
scene
just-
with the dude in the wheelchair.
No,
No,
they.
no, you figure it out that people are giving him, they're giving anonymous tips on leading the person that is responsible, the guy in the wheelchair, cooperating with Superman. That's the difference. But yeah, this scene right here, this is Bruce getting told, what are you doing, man? Like, you be branding these people and hurting them and all that shit. Like, you gotta calm down.
I was watching something that said that it took like 6 takes to get that right
Yeah.
with Lex.
Yeah, because he had to shoot, make it, and then turn around.
Yeah. And if you guys remember, we haven't got to the Capitol yet, but people have been saying, yeah, he helps people like get out of the Capitol, but I don't think that was in the theatrical cut, right? Him helping. Yeah, exactly.
Dad started saying that he named the company after his kid had Mr. Pigeon, which old ladies did. It was very cute, you know. Write checks for.
So is Jesse not supposed to be Lex we've always known, right? Like, because he keeps referring to his father. His father was the Lex we knew, right? And like Jesse's a new junior.
And it's this is also like Lex's origin story. Like before he gets prison will change a man, right? So
Yeah.
when he goes into prison and he gets broken out, he's a different person than he is. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I see what you mean.
This is kind of like
Okay.
this is like there's an 80s comic book that this is based off of, where he had long red hair and
okay.
he's very, very like this.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that. Is news to me. I've never seen that. I've always known Lex as just kind of what's the word I'm looking for? A narcissist, basically, right? He's just like kind of he's just pissed off Superman, gets all the attention. Yeah. That's how I've always known him. I've seen that comic.
Now, Rocky is radioactive, but what he needs from you is why would we want to weaponize this material as a deterrent? A silver bullet to keep it reserved to use against the Kryptonians, so the day cannot come, madame, when your children are waving daisies at a reviewing stand. Last I looked, the only one of those flying around up here was Superman. Yes, Superman. And there are more of them. The metahuman cases. Yes, the metahuman cases. More likely than not, these exceptional beings live among us. The basis of our myths, gods among men upon our blue planet here. You don't have to use a silver bullet. But if you forge one, well then, we don't have to depend upon the kindness of monsters. There are ways we can help each other. You just have to wait, officer. Yes. What's your wish list?
Yeah, right now we're at 31, 40, 50. I don't know how. I had to rewind a little.
Fresh Kryptonian ship.
Oh, 31 what?
No, I was at 31.50 a second. Line though.
God's body.
But you haven't hit Superman, right?
No, I'm still with the whole Jolly Rancher thing.
Yep. Jolly Rancher thing. Yep. Exactly.
Product placement.
That's like a cherry on top, though. That's the whole point. Yeah, but this next setup, Drip, is again, it's something that it kind of it opens up Superman's eyes, right? Because this person's asking like how does he get to decide who lives and who dies, right? And at the end of the day,
Right.
that is a question. So then realize Superman's watching and he kind of questions that himself. He's going, wait, maybe I should have to do something about it, right? I should go and talk about it. Because one, I didn't kill those people, but two, I don't want them to think that I'm choosing to kill people or not choosing to kill people.
And we didn't see. So Jade asked if we ever saw Lex in the theatrical of Justice League, right? And no, we did not see him in the theatrical cut of Justice League. Not until the post-credit scene.
Oh, you're talking about Justice League? Yeah.
Yeah.
He got billing, so that means he's probably
Yeah.
had a little bit, I'd say.
Get down. Sir, I said get down. Do it. Now. Hey, don't do it.
Crack lab?
Crime Lab.
Wow.
She's trying to figure out this bullet situation.
Lawrence Fishburne's, I love him in this.
Yeah. Yo, I love this question right here.
Yes, yes. I like how Metropolis is always playing Gotham City in the backgrounds.
Yeah.
End of love affair with man in the sky? Question mark.
Yeah, but that's a legit question, right? Like all of a sudden the media is part of it now, right? Media is getting involved with, is Superman really good? You know, at the end of the day,
Right.
that's what we're dealing with right now, right? Same
Right.
media.
Exactly.
The fact that they're questioning that, like, but see, this part, you didn't see this. I'm actually investigating. Like, what's happened? Like, he wants to go find out and talk to this girl that's saying he killed these people.
So this wasn't in the theatrical, I don't think either.
Oh, it wasn't. Implication of Batman's not being the right person. You know what I mean? And now he's basically in this underground Fight Club. All he has to do is look at the way the guy fights, and he can tell him how to.
Is that what Jack was drinking last night?
But here's another thing where basically he's gets told to ignore it. Like, who cares? Batman.
It's a good line. It's a good line.
Like he's trying to be active about it. Like he's like, dude, we need to cover this.
Right.
And Harry's like, dude, listen, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Batman's been around for 20 years. Nobody's covered Batman since that point.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why he's saying, like, dude, fine, man. Like, you know, we've been doing it for 20 years. Nothing's going to change what's happening. I love his shocked face. He's like, "Jeez, why don't I get to do that, man?"
Right? That's what you get being a Pulitzer Prize winning writer. You get that coach flight.
And I love how he's questioning her again, right? And she's telling him, "Well, because last time." So it's just weird that he gets requested, right, to go to this library event.
Right.
They're like, that's
right. And then I kind of forgot
movie.
about that originally when I was like, after I saw it the first time, I was like, how did they both end up at Lex's house? But then I was thinking about it and I was like, oh wait, like Lex purposely, he already knows that who they are at this point.
Yeah. And he was already trying to get, obviously he was trying to get the kryptonite in. That's why Bruce knows about the white Portuguese.
Right. All right, General, signify 2. See you tomorrow.
I'll come back if I just keep everything sane. That is silly. Magical thinking of course.
Unlocking the import license for your mineral.
I like how creepy he gets here.
Yeah, because he's like pissed off now. He's basically like in his head, he's going, all right, it's time for you to die then.
Look,
I
so
wanted to do this.
Look, guys, right? I told you earlier I wasn't aware of that comic you were referring to about Lex having the red hair and whatnot, right? But yeah. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. He's not the perfect Riddler. This entire movie, he doesn't make a great Riddler. Because that's it. That was my first thought when he started talking.
Oh, really?
Like he's a great Riddler. Absolutely.
He's not, and he might be in this, like, so he has a facade, right? And he's about to break it. And the more and more we get of Lex, he starts to break down the facade. So the facade at the beginning, yeah, he's probably like Riddler. But when he's on that rooftop and he's giving that monologue to Soups, that is
You don't think so? I very much that
no.
exact monologue I could see coming from Riddler. You couldn't?
No, that's a Lex.
Absolutely.
That's a Lex thing.
Yeah, he's talking about God cannot be all powerful, and he's throwing out the you need the world or the cameras are waiting for your ship. No, dude, those are Lex.
Wow.
That is Lex lines if I've ever heard of them.
Yeah, I
fucking love it, dude.
I 100% could see that coming from Enigma. Absolutely. Because that's like his whole thing. He's Mr. Smarty Pants, right? He's always trying to teach somebody something. He's always trying to prove that he's the superior being intelligence wise, right?
I don't know. But regardless,
I think he'd be excellent. I don't get it twisted. I like Jesse a lot. He's a great actor. We were talking about that last night, actually.
I would love that painting hanging in Lex's house, Kevin.
Oh, fuck yeah. Galloping through the streets to warn us. Avery learned about, what was it?
No.
I have no idea.
Not gonna lie, in the theater I jumped a little bit when that happened.
Oh yeah. I love how Bruce wakes up and there's just some random chick right next to him. It's like we don't get any back.
This is where you see how how fucked up.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. The first thing he does is he gets up, he's drinking this fucking 1945 fucking bottle. You know what I mean?
Taking pain pills.
Yeah. And his he's drinking alcohol, obviously, the first thing in the morning.
Yeah, so like you're taking pain pills and you're drinking in the morning, like coming from someone who battled those demons, like when you wake up and drink like that, like that's the first sign of an addict, right? Someone who's broken down.
Well, this right here, this is what's beautiful about it, is that Bruce is serving Alfred. And this is how you know that they're equals. They treat each other like equals. We've never seen that in any depiction of Alfred being served by Bruce Wayne. That's a fucking beautiful thing.
That's fair, Garza. You got that.
But see, right here, they're trying to figure out, because he's going, dude, Alex doesn't need. Why are you so worried about this white Portuguese, right? He hasn't told him the full truth, so Alfred doesn't know what he's talking about. I love this line that he's like, Bruce Wayne won't have to, or Bruce Wayne's been invited. This right here, you should already going, okay, well, somebody invited Superman, and now this guy is invited. This is how blind this Batman is, though, because Batman doesn't even realize. He knows that he needs to get to Lex Luthor's house, and yet he's getting invited now. And he wants his food, so it's like he's screaming out like an addict. Like, that's the real me. I don't need to go as Bruce Wayne. I need to go as Batman.
He really wants to go as Batman. Yeah.
Okay, he does. And then look how long he stared at that, and then he just gives this basically a quick glance compared to what he was just looking at.
Somebody told us the legs were gone on the suit. The legs aren't gone on the suit.
No, they just he doesn't have pants.
Woo! Look at that ass, baby. Look at that ass.
Somebody, Drizzle, you don't remember that? We were having that conversation the other day that on Robin's suit, his legs were missing, and that all Joker really fucked him up. He cut his legs off and did all this crazy shit.
No.
Remember?
Well, they said that the Joker burns him and cuts off limbs.
Yeah.
You get his limbs. Yeah, shorts on.
How about that? That's Gotham's ass right there, baby.
Look at Mercy. Mercy right behind him. Like she's literally watching him, making sure they get connected.
Badass. Love it.
What?
Philanthropist, bibliophile, true friend of the Library of Metropolis, Mr. Lex.
There's a big job.
I love how he talks about Prometheus.
This is such an awkward speech.
I know, I love it.
So weird.
All right, where am I going now? Watch the elevator. Left. That's right, it must be. This is the service corridor in the basement. Go down the stairs.
Gods and men. Prometheus went with us, and he ruined Zeus's plan to destroy mankind. And for that, he was given a thunderbolt. True! Seems unfair. On a serious note, library of metropolis.
Upstairs, you saw on your way down the stairs.
At one time, I know. My father could vouch for books from the editor. Garbage from yesterday's newspaper.
Now you go kitchens on your right. Your left. When you're trying to get that's where you want to be.
Great. I'm okay. Get their shoes.
No surveillance, no nothing. Nobody keeps an eye on that room. That room's not important.
No, Lex wants him to take that.
Yeah, Justice, you're missing a lot of stuff here, man.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm going to tell you why Lex wanted him to take that. That's why. Remember what I just said? Mercy is watching Bruce. Mercy is literally looking for him. And once he plugs in, she goes in and she interrupts him, right? She knows, and so does Lex know, what they're doing. And they know that it's going to be 7 minutes. So the moment the 7 minutes is up, watch what happens. You'll understand what happens, why they're watching it. But yes, there is surveillance. Bruce just doesn't give a fuck. Because he's not anticipating Lex Luthor to be anything other than just Lex Luthor.
Paradoxical, and
What's your position with that?
He's away.
Don't believe it.
Okay, maybe planning. My foundations are in statement supporting the laws. So,
Daily
what's your position on bad vigilante and government? Daily plan.
every time
No civil liberties being trampled on your city.
I remember when they did the Jimmy Kimmel parody of this.
Yeah, shit is hilarious, man. I was like, wait, that's Batman.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, Superman.
Daily Planet criticizing those who think they're above the laws. Hypocritical. What you say? Considering every time your hero sings a canon with tree, you're of beast and torrent. Not an alien.
I love bringing people together. Hello.
You take the burn all place now.
Good. Hi. Hello.
Get damn thing we can understand.
Wow. Wow. That is a good breakfast. Not pick up like with this person.
Doesn't show your hand.
No, after all you did, we finally got you over to the
Maybe
property.
Gotham City and
Well, you're welcome.
bad
How
history.
more often though?
Pretty stressed like clowns.
Working on something.
boys, Bruce Wayne meets Clark
Okay,
Kent
see, 7 minutes comes up, what happens?
together.
She's
How are
like,
we?
Mr. Wayne or Mr. Lex,
Good.
Mr. Luthor, I need you.
Wow, that is a good prep. You should not pick up like
So
this.
it's like, yeah, exactly.
Oh, after all these
He
years,
knows what he's gonna do.
Metropolis.
I thought I'd come through to try.
Well, you're welcome. You should hop the harbor more often, though. I'd love to show you my labs. Maybe we could partner on something.
Yeah,
My R&D is
that's not going to
also-
fix that.
What?
It's not. Yeah, I was going off the comments. It's not like it. I don't know. I really don't know how to
Yeah, I'm
explain
good
it.
at it. Yeah.
I love the music change when she comes on screen.
This is literally my favorite segment of the film. Is the political aspect in these questions, and all the while are literally synced up with saving people. Unfucking real.
We, as a population on this planet, have been looking for a savior. 90% of people believe in a higher power.
Yeah, I like this little scene here. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson, that whole part, the Superman question.
But what they're basically describing is how everybody portrays Superman, right? It's
Right.
exactly what everybody's saying. Like, oh, my Superman doesn't do this or do that. That's exactly what they're saying. He's making a commentary on all of these people. That's what's so brilliant about this.
90% of people believe in a higher power. Every religion believes in some sort of messianic figure. When the savior character actually comes to Earth, will make him abide by
Yeah.
our laws.
Justin, is your camera okay or what? What's good?
Start thinking
What?
non-politics.
Is your camera working or what?
Yeah, my camera's fine.
We have international law. On this earth, every act is a political act. Isn't it surprising that the most powerful man in the world should be a figure of controversy?
To have an individual engaging in these state-level interventions should give us all pause.
Human beings have a long track record of following people with great power down paths that led to huge human atrocities. We have always created icons in our own image. What we've done is we project ourselves onto him. The fact is, maybe he's not some sort of devil or Jesus character. Maybe he's just a guy trying to do the right thing.
We're talking about a being whose very existence challenges our own sense of power in the universe. You go back to Copernicus, where he restored the sun in the center of our universe, displacing Earth, and you get to Darwinian evolution. You find out we're not special
Our
among
propulsion, dude.
other life forms. And now we're not
Listen,
even special
Rip,
to the entire universe.
I know you like Marvel, but I've never heard a fucking Marvel anything ask a question like that. Like, would you? How can you sit there and try to be responsible for one of the heroes,
Personally comfortable saying to a
telling them they can or can't save somebody?
No. You'll never hear that from Marvel. Marvel has a simplicity to it, a simplicity that is, it's just pure, unadulterated entertainment. That's it, plain and simple. It's just there's jokes, there's action, there's a little bit of you make you feel right. That's perfectly acceptable. That's why it brings in $1 billion. Look, this is convoluted, right? It's a lot, right? It's absolutely it's convoluted. It's repetitive. It's unnecessary.
Repetitive?
Yes,
What are you talking about?
the whole Jesus God comparison thing goes on throughout the entire movie. The political thing goes through the entire movie. It's all unnecessary convolution.
Movies
not
since they were
hold on.
started being made have used comparisons to religion. This is not a new thing.
Yeah, when did I say that? When did I say
You're
this?
just saying it's
When
repetitive,
did I
like
say
it's
that?
a bad
I said
thing.
it's too much. It's unnecessary.
Say this. This is the first time we're hearing any kind of religion whatsoever, and we're almost an hour in. So you can't honestly say there's too much.
I get it. I get it, right? Like,
no, I don't think
it's hard for me
I
to
really
explain.
don't.
It's just, I do. I really do. I really do. I really do.
I'm curious though, because I don't know what other religion or what other part of religion was brought up other than just that, which is not even religion. It's just like, look, I mean, everybody's always considering him to be a Messiah, but when that person actually comes to Earth, we're going to tell him what we want him to do. Bullshit. You're not going to fucking tell him that. That's the whole point. But they're not sitting there saying he should be a Christ. They're saying that's what people are putting on him.
What makes you such a reporter? Stuff like this still shocks you.
That's when Lex really getting involved.
was for taking in your friendly trash. I didn't pretty smart. And you know, the people with dishonor, I'm telling you, if I'm not dying, let's go. You guys go. Let's go. He paid bail. Open two.
What the fuck do you want?
Hey. The hell are you? Just a minute. What the fuck do you want?
My wife. And now.
Let's hear You made me half a man. My wife walked out on me. I
So,
keep pissed.
that,
Standing up. Let me
Yeah.
face
Yeah.
it. Take care of it.
What? No balls, my viewers.
I'm worthless.
Secretary's mom, you have
Tinfoil hat.
Slade, if I could interview Major Ferris just outside that door.
You're treating me like a stranger?
The reporter got greedy for it.
This is essentially what the movie's about, right here.
DCEU is providing experimental
Basically
military
tells her.
arms to rebels in Africa.
You know, with balls like yours, you belong in here. Your source on this tinfoil hat?
No, not tin, but it's metal, fired in a Superman instinct. Experts in the Pentagon can't ID it. We haven't been told the truth.
Here's the truth. The reporter got greedy for a scoop and went where she shouldn't have. Superman acted like some rogue combatant to rescue a people value. Don't invent a conspiracy theory to put back his halo.
This won't help. The press isn't in the right.
We're yours.
When the plan was founded, it stood for something, Eric. And so could you if it was 1938, but it's
About to
not.
find out.
WPA ain't hiring no more. Apples don't cost a nickel. Not in here, not out there. You drop this thing. Nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the back. So apparently Superman doesn't want us to think of him as American anymore. And really what it would be. I mean, aside from the rest of the costume, I don't know, back his initials on his chest. I assume the only reason he's not wearing the Declaration of Independence as a cape is he thinks it's too on the nose. What is going on back here? No, back. Come on, let's go. This is the last time we got 13 people out there. I wonder when you see something I'd like to share. Now, stop stalling.
I love the I love the meeting between Cal and Ben here.
Well, the beautiful thing about this, and I was always confused when I first saw it. I was like, "What is this?" You know, it's so weird that they're talking about this Gordian knot. What's
Right.
beautiful about it is that if you know what the Gordian knot is, it's about an unsolvable problem, right?
Right.
Of Macedonia, what he basically, in order to get rid of that problem, was he just cut the knot. Nobody said he couldn't cut the knot, and he thought of a way to do it. So, in a way, that's the way that you can kind of use as a analogy for what Lex Luthor.
Right.
can't get rid of that problem, so he's cutting his own Gordian knot. So just has this dynamic with Gal and amazing. They even cut this in the
Yeah.
Happens now, I didn't. The data you copied is military grade encryption.
Now, I've got the address 9 out of 10 happens.
Born in no natural inclination. And balanced. He finally loved my real car. It's the way.
Love it.
yeah, mic drop.
Love it.
And
here we
the whole
go.
point of this situation is because he's getting this information and he's about to unlock the data. This is so important because this is when he first sees the other. I can't wait to see this more.
Yep. I can't wait. I literally that might be my most anticipated thing, just by a little bit. Just by
the history lesson and then Nightmare. That's for me.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. What's up, DC Talk with Extended, my man? So we're at the Nightmare part of BVS Ultimate Edition right now, just starting the vision that Bruce starts to have while he's unlocking the Lex files. If anyone's just joining now and wants to put it on, we're at the part where the Nightmare stuff starts happening. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video. And we do want to say again, thank you. Thank you, Garza, for joining us today.
So I know a lot of people are confused after this, right? Because they're going, wait, why is he still looking for the kryptonite in this timeline?
Right.
The reason for that is because in this timeline, he never got the encrypted case, or he never got the files to show that the Kryptonian or the kryptonite was on the white Portuguese. This is just this is the timeline A where he's still looking for it.
Right. And the whole part about people are so mad that Batman, they were mad about Batman in this scene, and it was well, have you ever heard the phrase Superman's gone dark side? Well, yeah. That's literally what we're seeing here. Superman, everyone's at their worst in this timeline, or they've compromised in this timeline because they have had.
And obviously, those are super soldiers. So
right.
I just love this one shot, this long take.
Yeah, the long take was a great idea here.
Then you just see all these parademons.
Right, it's so friggin' scary. These parademons compared to the Justice League parademons, it's such a drastic
I love
difference.
It takes 4 of them to hold him down, and then a fucking final parademon.
And they still have trouble.
Oh. And if you want to, Stephen Colbert kind of like the men on the cross.
Yeah.
Another one for you, Drip. Not Superman, is it? I mean, just imagine that kind of scare. Like, dude can literally just heat vision your fucking body. Like,
just right in half.
How about literally a loaded gun all the time looking at you?
Right.
It's fucking terrifying.
So
yeah, that was my take.
And obviously he's talking about Lois here. He Homelander those dudes.
Yeah. Okay, dude.
So that is Flash on the cosmic treadmill, right?
Yes. And they're in the Batcave. They sent him in the past. That's why he said he's too soon, because he was.
Right.
Because he hadn't seen it yet. He hadn't seen them yet.
What?
Jack actually brings up a good point. So if this future Bruce dies, does that mean that the nightmare sequence in Justice League will be set prior to this dream?
No. So that was timeline A. Imagine BVS being timeline B. So that other timeline's already happened. The reason why he's jumping in another universe is because that world already happened. It's ending. So this is like the restart kind of, or at least it was trying to be. That's why he's too soon.
Okay.
The white Portuguese is not a man.
Love how Alfred just calls him out.
Right. I think Jeremy Irons did a wonderful job as Alfred.
Lying to me. The white Portuguese isn't carrying a dirty bomb. What is it carrying? It's a weapon. It's a rocket. Another capable of weakening Kryptonian cells. The first sample big enough to mean something turned up in the Indian Ocean 3 months ago. It was now aboard the white Portuguese being explored. Boy, that's stupid. If you did automate the destruction.
Love the way he asks that, and he looks at him like, no.
Like, right?
Yeah.
To destroy
it. He's like, yeah, you're not thinking what I think you're doing, right?
Right. Is there a reason you think he uses the Batman voice there? It's like
he's turning into that monster.
You think, right? So that's what I was thinking, because he for a brief second there, he uses the Batman voice and transitions back to Bruce voice.
He is not our enemy. Not today. 20 years ago, we've seen no promises.
You can see it in his eyes too. This isn't the Batman with the moral code.
Give a fuck anymore, and that's why he's like,
right.
again, this is Clark again, trying to find out what's going on.
Yep.
Wasn't shown in the theatrical.
Exactly.
wasn't my husband, but I know what he did. But he was a father. He might have gotten central. They moved him to the house.
And Jack, if I did send you an invite via email, so if you wanted to jump in, it's been there the whole time.
You know what's crazy about this is that how she tells him like words don't stop him, and it is a word that stops him. That's fucking crazy,
right? Click his heels.
Avery loves that line too.
Love that. I love that line.
Yeah, but I love this
Kaden.
build up. I love how like Steven had mentioned this, how it like turns into like this suspense action film right here. Like at this
right.
moment, like,
Yeah,
God
so
damn,
this is where it turns too, like towards
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah. Because keep in mind, up until the nightmare, there had not been any kind of action after the first 10 minutes. And up until now, which is like an hour and 10 minutes, so almost an hour's worth of non-action. And then we had the nightmare, and now we're going to get this Batman chase scene.
Right. And this is a wonderful chase scene as well.
Fuck yeah, it is. Like, is that not just Batman right there? Just chill.
Like that right there, that's pure. And then I heard people that complained that he had this in his hand because they didn't watch the movie.
Checker.
They didn't actually watch it, and they saw him with what looks like to be a rifle.
The main complaint is, well, why did he even shoot a tracker on there? I'm like, guys, do y'all not fucking realize it's Batman who's literally putting up a contingency plan with that tracker? Like, he's surprising them. He's going to try to take this kryptonite, but in case he doesn't get it, guess what? He fucking knows where it's going.
Exactly.
Like, I was shocked when people would say that. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys thinking, dude?
Yeah. Like that. And that's the most Batman thing you could do, right? No matter
like,
what.
What do you want Batman to do?
No matter what,
like,
he
fucking
will get
memorize?
the job done.
Yeah. Fucking love it, dude.
Go. I would not want to be in that car.
Well, you know what's crazy is that we know that all of them, almost, even though he messes around, like we know all of them live because they're in the warehouse.
Right.
At the end. But nobody likes to pay attention to that. Well, except for maybe the guy that he shoots. But, you know, it's funny because this is meant to show you like Batman right now is not giving a fuck.
Right.
Like if you're going, you know, that's not Batman, then you're right. That's exactly what you should be thinking.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And that's the hardest part to explain to people is like, because you want to be able to say, yeah, okay, clearly it is Batman. That's not what I'm talking about. But
yeah,
is it a Batman?
His actions? No.
Yes. Yes.
Like that's not a normal. Like all of this shit that he is doing is not normal. This in particular, right? But at the end of the day, this is a criminal, right? Who has a freaking fucking 50 caliber, you know,
right
rifle on the fucking gun. Like, dude, okay, I'm sorry he got rid of him, but like it's a fucking criminal. They're dealing child trafficking and sex trafficking.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he just marked them.
Yeah. Did he like fucking take some like pastor off? No. Like, fuck it, dude. But at the end of the day, you're right though. Anybody that's like, oh, but that shouldn't be Batman. Exactly.
Right.
Should be saying right now.
And I think Zack definitely did want to show that, like, so yes, in this film, Batman is past the point of like
giving a fuck.
He's past the point of giving a fuck. And that way, so when we get to Justice League and Superman is gone, we get that Batman that has that code again, and we do get that Batman.
That would have been way better to see that going into Justice League, which I think we are, but
right.
It's such a badass fucking shot. Like, dude, the whole point of this bat chase is to show you that Batman's Batmobile is literally bulldozing through every fucking thing it can go to. It's jumping out of this window. It's doing all of this shit. And yet the moment it hits Superman, it fucking dies.
Right.
That's what's so amazing.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like, well, that's what Steven, the the designer, the stunt coordinator for the chasing. That's what he said. He goes, "We wanted you guys to look at it going, this Batmobile is fucking unstoppable. Like it just keeps going. It's going. It's not stopping. And all of a sudden, it runs into Superman. Yeah, it's done. Like, yeah, fucking. That's how powerful that is.
Right. I actually never thought about that.
Yeah, and the fact that he actually hesitates, and then he hits the brake. He's like, fuck.
Boom. Just bounces. Bounces off the motherfucker.
There. Yeah. And then he gets on it and then he fucking tears the doors off
like he was ripping open a bag of potato chips.
Yeah. Like nothing. Dude. I love how he stares in the window first. He's just like, this motherfucker.
This was like the movie.
Imagine how fast his heart rate
was.
Imagine imagine how fast his heart rate is probably going right now.
Yeah, he seems calm.
And for him to have the audacity to go, yeah, do you bleed, bitch?
Right? Superman looks back like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what the fuck did you just say, dude? I see your heart rate. You ain't calm, motherfucker.
Yeah, Superman's on his way out. He's like, yeah, fucking keep talking shit down there, bro.
Yeah, I heard you. I flew away, but I heard you, bitch.
Fucking talk shit after I'm gone.
Yeah. Oh, I do love this. I love this. This intro. And I'm sure you're aware of this. So this is like so you have the stunt double, and then now we have the real Ben Affleck. They did a switch. It's called a Texas switch.
Oh, actually,
so that's why. Yeah, that's why they. That's something that Zack said. So.
Wait. So when did they do that?
So the stunt driver or the stunt man, his stunt double is in the car. He hops out, and then we see it kind of go. We see a pillar like kind of go in front, and out walks Ben Affleck.
Oh, okay. So that they call that a what?
Texas switch.
Okay.
Why? But
yeah.
And this is also what's funny about this. Zack said it that this is like the moment where Lex realizes when he's looking at her
that he's gonna kill her, right?
Yeah, he's basically like, "Yeah, you're done."
Because he knows.
Crazy.
Yeah, now he knows. I have everything I need. You're just the last piece.
Yeah, you're a piece that I don't need to continue with.
So now it's going back and watching scenes of Harry Lennox. It's like.
Well, keep in mind that we don't know if he is supposed to be Manhunter right now. Like, we don't know in the movie if he just takes his form because he knows
that's right.
That's we don't know yet. So until we know that, we can't really tell. These questions right here are so important, man. I love them. I love how she says that. Like, how do you say what right and wrong is?
Yep.
But I mean,
all right, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna pee real quick. I'm sorry. Oh, Lex is just like, yes. I realize now that the shot that they just used with Jesse Eisenberg looking at the kryptonite is kind of like similar to the one that we see when it shows a Batarang in it.
Yeah. But he's got a smirk in both of them.
Exactly, yeah.
Love this, man. None of it because you don't know it. Know this world a thing. So now we're going to learn why why she was even lying in the first place, because she gets scared. You know, again, all this shit was taken out of the theatrical cut, so you didn't even know this was happening.
Hey guys.
Oh.
Garza, nice to see you again.
Oh, Zack.
Hear you again. Drip. Can you guys tell me if you hear that chirping sound?
Yeah.
I kind of hear it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Ty, I'll just stay in the comments because I don't want it to.
No. Just stay here. I'll just turn you down a little bit. It's fine.
Okay.
But again, Drip, this is where all of a sudden things are starting to come into place where, okay, well, now we're starting to understand that, oh, okay, so things are starting to fall in place where somebody was setting Superman up, right? And it's not until until Lois realizes, like, why would they even know Superman would be in the desert? And then it hits her. She's like, oh. Shit. For breaking the movie? Yeah.
I think you meant bring down.
The other
Not
thing
a
too that you
chance.
realize is the CIA is actually willing to let Superman take the fall. That's what
Yeah.
you realize.
Yep.
She realizes,
Oh,
she's like,
it clicks.
fuck. Yeah. Which is something you got to realize when you're like, okay, so Lex was setting it up. Okay. And now all of a sudden, this is the third thing that we're seeing that Lex set up. Right.
Yep.
The guy in the wheelchair.
Yep.
And it's brilliant. But we also don't know, we can assume that he is reading a script or knowing about a script of what he's supposed to say to Superman or about Superman. Just because Kahina was reading off a script. That's why he says this.
You know, one thing I appreciated about the realism in this film, that, you know, they got Soledad O'Brien, they got Anderson Cooper.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have fake reporters in a fake world. This is like, no, this is
I
our
don't.
world.
Okay, I still don't get the whole point of that opening desert scene is to blame Superman, right? It's a whole big deal. It's getting national coverage. Congress is involved. Everybody and their mother is involved, right? Nobody investigated the scene and saw a bunch of bodies with bullet holes and bullets everywhere and still blamed Superman. That doesn't make any sense. There's bullets everywhere. Superman doesn't shoot guns.
Wait. Who investigated the scene?
Yeah, you have to remember that this is
Well,
another country.
it's somebody must have, right? It's national news.
Literally, our country and their country. That's what Lewis says. The U.S. has said that we won't be involved in your country's civil war, both in policy or in principle. So that means we're not going to go and investigate in your country about something. We just know that Superman, who is an American, was involved in something that happened, and we have a witness corroborating to us on our hearing that, guess what, Superman's responsible.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, the CIA.
So
is
that
not-
entire
CIA
thing.
is denying.
That entire thing could have been fixed with the most basic of investigation. The most basic. Just a couple of photographs would have fixed that problem easily.
Who would have been taking photographs there? The U.S. and the CIA cannot be involved. They have denied that they were there. The CIA is not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And when you
So who
burn
are
a
taking
body
photos?
with flamethrovers,
Well,
there
it's
is
not even that.
really little left after that.
Well, no, you're thinking of investigation in America, not Nairobi, Africa. Okay, they're not
Right.
going to have state of the art, all of that stuff. Either way, though, there is no like committee going out to Nairobi, Africa, investigating any of this stuff. CIA
Yeah.
is denying they even name.
With the
Okay,
with the
why
tragedies in
couldn't we
Syria,
get involved? Why
With the
can't we get involved? It's national news throughout America, right? Congress is
Do we get
involved. They're
No.
holding this whole big thing, but we can't get involved in the scene of the crime. I don't understand.
We're not getting
Why?
involved with the
If we
scene
could cover it
because
nationally here in the States,
we're
like
covering
don't act like
because
I'm being
guess what?
stupid here. Like that
No,
doesn't
no,
make
no,
any
no,
sense.
But I'm
I
saying
know.
it's not that
But I'm
easy to
explaining
just
it
go.
to you. But I'm explaining it to you. The reason why we're covering it is because this witness who lives in America is telling us that Superman did something. Well, Superman is an American. So guess what?
Yeah.
We need to hold him accountable. He doesn't need to be acting in these state level interventions, like she said. He doesn't need to be going over and helping the Russians or helping, the Middle East or helping, anybody, right? Because guess what? If something were to happen with us, and I'm using a big deal, but if something were to happen in China, are we going to be able to just access everything to China's government?
That's what I was trying to bring. That's what I was trying to bring up. So when the Syria thing was happening, the American news was covering it all day, every day. Yet we couldn't walk into Syria and investigate it.
Yeah.
If an American citizen was there and blamed for it, a country would expect.
You don't walk into. You can't. It doesn't matter if an American citizen was there. And
nothing
being
happened,
blamed.
right?
You can't walk in there like that.
If she would have been killed, you're absolutely right. That's a difference. If she was killed, yes, you're absolutely right. We probably could have done something, because guess what? That's when somebody is killed, an American is killed on sovereign soil, and it's killed like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, but on the opposite end, right? You just said it. Superman is a product of America, right? He's not expected to go help other countries. He's expected to be an American, right? So if Superman is in another country, is responsible for the death of several of their citizens, and he's claimed as American, they would expect that government would expect America to deal with it. But they not.
You exactly proved my fucking point. So thank you for thinking that way. That's exactly what she's wondering. She's saying he can't just do that, because if that happens, they're going to blame us. So how does he act on us? Like, he shouldn't be able to act by himself, and we are responsible for it. So we need to make sure that he's held responsible. He can't just go to
yes, exactly. So an investigation wouldn't fall under that umbrella.
You can't investigate that, dude. All you can do is you can only tell Superman, we need you to come over here and tell us what the fuck happened, dude. Because we can't go over there.
I honestly, I can't argue too much on this specific topic, because I'm not I'm not a politician. I don't know how this shit's handled. Right. This is just based off of how I understand shit. You feel me? Feel like
keep in mind too that this is all the politics and all of that is legit. This is exactly what happened. This is why everything takes so long. I mean, not to bring it in real world situation, but Trump just got acquitted on his second fucking impeachment trial, dude. Come on,
55%.
So it's no way, dude. This is the entire point of this committee is to sit there and ask what you just asked, Drip, which is, hey, if Superman goes and does something, is he representing America? And if he does represent America, then why aren't we in control of him? Why aren't we able to tell him what he can and can't do? And you put yourself in Superman's shoes. Who the fuck are they to tell you? That's why he goes to Mexico, and that's why he goes to Russia, and that's why we see him in the Arctic, where it's not. None of those places are America, and he is still involved. He is still helping. And that's the big thing. That's the question, right? Unilateral decision.
Yeah, and to bring it back, right? So I know you're a Marvel guy, especially when Wanda does what she does and hits that building, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. The government still blames the Avengers. Yeah, the Avengers. They don't blame Crossbones, who was the real issue. They blame Wanda, even though the government could have went and solved it by just investigating it a little bit further.
Yeah. Okay. Based off of what I'm going to use that as an exact example. That exact scene, Wanda picks him up, the guy with a bomb strapped to his chest, and puts him in the building. Superman in this scenario did literally nothing but get the guy with the gun away from Lois. That's all he did.
But
nobody else was there to see him. Nobody else saw that.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that.
Yeah.
So people that saw Wanda, how many people saw Wanda do that? Fucking the entire team, right?
Yeah.
And they still
the government knows what happened. But that doesn't mean that the public is going to be okay with it, right?
Yeah.
Right. The public still blames the Avengers, even though we as an audience and we as the Avengers, right, from looking at that perspective, that we still, they all know that it's not Wanda's fault, but the repercussions are Sokovia Accords. The repercussions here are the Congress hearings,
the committee and
things
and
like
the
that.
Capitol building.
Yeah. It's the Congress and the government, they react. Their job is to handle the reaction, not to go investigate what happened. That's up to the Sokovian government. That's up to where were they again? No,
they were in here. They were in Nairobi.
Yeah, they made it up. It's like Nairobi, Kenya, but not really.
Yeah, it's in Africa. But
yeah.
The whole point though is that I'm glad Justice really brought that up, because he literally brought up the main point that I was talking about. Now, granted, at the end of the day, you may not want to see that in your superhero movie. And I'm not talking about you, Justice. I'm just saying, like, in the royal you, like, people may not want to have that feeling of asking those kind of questions, because those are, you know, at the end of the day, those don't really have any kind of right or wrong answers. It's your opinion, right? And like, for me, I know my daughter, she wouldn't be okay with having somebody in charge telling Superman what he could or couldn't do, right? She understands that logic, but she also understands that, you know, if she had the power to save whoever she wanted to, and she was Superman, she probably would. She wouldn't be sitting there thinking about saving everybody that wasn't involved with her. You get what I mean? Like, and this is coming from a teenager now. So, you know, you got to think about it. This guy's only been around for 2 years, and every time he is saving somebody, they're questioning it. And they're questioning it, going, why do you get to do it, and why aren't you able to, you know, explain yourself? And it's like, well, what the fuck? And so in this point in time, when that Capitol scene happened, he's realizing that imagine him going in, he's not thinking anybody is going to blow up anything. Like, fuck, that's the last fucking thing that he's expecting before he goes in there, right? And so the fact that he's sitting there willing to go in and talk and have his opportunity to speak, and yet he gets robbed of that. He gets that taken away from him. And not only does he get that taken away from him, it's because all of a sudden, right before he realizes what's happening, he hears the bomb, and there's nothing he can do about it. Like, he wasn't expecting that thing to be a bomb, so he wasn't listening for a bomb. You get what I mean? Like, he was going in there for that reason. Like, I'm going to go talk to these people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the reason why we learned, then we learned in this.
But I mean, it's still flowing.
The wheelchair was lined with lead, so he couldn't see it anyways. It wouldn't matter. He could only have heard it.
So based off of that, right? Like, yeah, I get it, right? Superman, you're absolutely right. He didn't expect there to be a bomb, and yes, L Life, they did say that in the theatrical, because I do recall them explaining the chair was made of lead. I just think that this, to my knowledge, that I recall, that is the one and only time Superman tries to, like, clear his name and speak for himself. And you just said it. It was robbed of him, right? Because of the explosion. He never got the chance. You don't try again. That's the only time you try.
What can he say now? Like, dude, they literally just blew up the Capitol. Can you imagine that riot in real world? Or the riot on the Capitol? Can you imagine?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Can you imagine somebody else in the next few days going, look what happened with Trump? Did he come out and say anything about it?
Yeah. But we're not talking about a regular dude. We're talking about Superman, who is he can't be harmed. They can't do anything to him, right? They can't slap him. So what is he fearing? Why not try? Why not try to clear your name?
But if you're dealing with that, you can't. If they can't do anything, but they could still make you feel like you don't belong, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
But that's what they're currently doing. That's exactly what's happening right now.
That's the whole point, right? And it was even worse now after the whole Capitol bombing, because he's going, fuck, should I even be Superman? Like, what the fuck? I'm out here helping these people, and this is the shit that happens when I get involved. Dude, is this even worth it? Like, I don't get paid to do this. I'm not getting paid. Nobody's giving him fucking donations.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
You know what I mean?
I'll give you that. That's fair. I still don't particularly like it, but that's fair.
No, I get it. Well, I know, and I get it. Like, that's the thing. It's
To
just
add on top of that, you have to remember the CIA was playing dirty in the desert. They sent Jimmy Olsen to talk to this guy when he killed them. They were going to drone strike him. They did not want anything investigated.
That's the
they
thing.
Were playing
well,
dirty. What they've done in Iran, in Iraq. They would not have wanted that investigated.
Bomb that entire place with Lois in there, and guess what would have happened? Nobody. They wouldn't have known. There would not have been a Lois Lane, dies. It just would have been a horrific accident, and somehow there's a bomb that went off. Right? They could have covered it that way.
Absolutely. The only reason I question it, why the whole investigation thing that I was bringing up, the only reason I question it is because it is national news here in the States, and there's this whole committee, and they got Congress putting Superman on trial. That's why I asked, well, where's the investigation? Where's there a trial without an investigation?
It would be kind of the same thing with like if we were dealing with like North Korea or something, or North Korea.
Okay. I mean, okay. But I mean,
we can't do anything, right? I mean, if we're not going to be involved in the politics.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. That's fair. But I'm kind of repeating myself here at this point, but again, if Superman is to blame, wouldn't that country want America to solve the problem? Would they not want them to be like, listen, take care of this. This is your fault. Take care of it.
Keep in mind
we don't have like issues with Africa, right? Like their government let us in.
Are they in that country watching our news cycle? Like, no. They don't know what's happening over here. Like that was in Nairobi, Africa. The only reason why the government knows is because this lady who was paid by Lex is going and taking it to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
She's the whole reason why this gotten to their attention. Otherwise, no one would have known.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see. I see what
you
you
mean. Like,
I see.
The whole reason why. So it's not like Nairobi, Africa, and their politicians were like, hey, America, what the fuck? Because obviously, everyone died.
Water, there's like 12 burned corpse bodies here. We want you to deal with it. It's your fault. Superman did it.
Correct. Yeah, nobody is saying that from Nairobi, Africa. The only person that's saying that is the girl that's lying because of Lex paying her and giving her script to lie about.
Okay. See, now, Garza, again, and I've said this to you before. The movie did not tell me that. You had to tell me that.
Yeah.
That's not good storytelling. If you have to explain something like that to me, that's not good storytelling. If I can't get that based off of watching the movie.
Well, keep in mind, it's explained in there, and it's visually shown that, right? Because we know that Kahina is the only one talking about this. Yeah. We know that she's the only person involved in this case, okay? And then we find out that she has lied and she had a script given to her. So those two context clues, and I do mean that indicates that nobody else has brought this to anybody else's attention except for Kahina, who was being, told to do this by Lex.
So that to me sounds like I need to bring out my inner detective to watch this film.
Well,
and
that's the thing, though.
That's not a good thing. It's a movie. I have to have detective skills to watch this. Are you shitting me? That's a good thing.
I would say, yeah. That's an amazing thing because it's in the movie. It's explained in the movie. Whether you get that in the first try or whether you get that in the fifth try isn't the movie's fault, right? Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's movie,
okay. Right? Yeah, technically that is fair. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, and that's, I will say this though, right? Like, don't get me wrong. It's not like I understood all of this shit on the first watch. Like bullshit. I'm not going to pretend that I was some badass film cinephile connoisseur. And I was like, oh, I get everything, every single fucking nuance in this film. I get. No, bullshit. And I don't think anybody would say that. But the beautiful thing about this is that this film allows you to do that and watch it repeatedly and get these little nuances. And you're right. You shouldn't have to watch a film more than once to understand the whole thing. In all fairness, though, if the film is telling you in the first time, then shame on you for not paying attention.
Fair enough. So now I want to make something clear, right? I like the ability to go back and watch movies and be like, oh shit, I didn't notice that the first time, right?
Yeah.
But if you ask me, these are major plot points that I have to come back and watch a second, third,
here's what I'm
okay, now I get it. You feel me?
My first time watching this film, I was yeah, it was hit with me, right? It wasn't until I watched it the second time that I was like, I have to pay attention to every fucking word of dialogue in this film. Otherwise, I'm going to miss something. Here's the thing. That's what I fucking love. It changed my point of view on how I watch films. Because the moment I realized that, and I went, there's not a throwaway line of dialogue in this film.
Exactly.
Okay?
Apparently not.
No, it isn't. Exactly. And that's how this film is so dense when it comes to that. And that's why when it comes to Chris Terrio being the writer, he fucking really dug into this. And that's why I'm saying every single line of dialogue made it important to where I went, I've never seen anything like this in a film where you're right. You do have to pay attention. It's not something that you could be on your phone and watch. It's not. And I mean, the first time, like after a while, obviously you could do certain things, but no, every single thing visually and spoken dialogue is key. And that made me love this movie even more.
Now, guys, by my definition, that's convoluted. That's unnecessary.
If you look at the definition of convoluted, right? It means it's overstuffed with stuff that doesn't make sense, right? Yeah. See, and that's why I slapped my on it, right? Because when I use the word convoluted, it means like unnecessary. It's too much, right? Extra, if that makes any sense, Well, here, I'm going to give you, the definition is extremely complex and difficult to follow. So here right now, she finds out about the not only the blast being altered, but the fact that it was lined with lead. And so now Lois is going, fuck, okay. Now I know exactly who is involved with all of this shit. I now know. Granted, she can't reach Superman. How the fuck can she reach him when he's on a mountain somewhere in fucking, who knows, probably South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Who cares? It's Superman. So she can't reach him and call him and tell him, hey, look, I know something was happening and I know that you're freaking out, but it wasn't your fault. He's still doubting himself, right? But this is like his own version of an organic fortress of solitude. And so when you think about this, all the story and all the plot points and all the beats, it's not overcomplicated because it's very simple once you understand how everything is going. We're now almost an hour and a half into the film, and you could still understand where Superman's coming from, where you're going, dude, you're supposed to look at him going, dude, he can't win. Like, he's tried. He's helping people, and he still can't do anything. And then this story comes up where he kind of explains, and you got to imagine that it's probably a memory from his childhood, where he's kind of questioning himself, going, like, what the fuck? Like, even when I help people, they think I'm doing something wrong. So what the story gives us and what the story kind of allows us to understand is that from a young age, he was taught that, guess what? It doesn't matter. Anytime you help somebody else is probably going to be getting affected by it. There's not really you can do about it at the end of the day.
Yeah, and Justice, to your point, like, you don't have to watch a movie more than once to understand that. I mean, that's what good cinema is. You should watch it again and again. Ty went to film school. Like, when we took film classes, you have to watch a movie 2 or 3 times. And, when we did this whole thing on Scorsese and Woody Allen, and these are comedy movies and gangster movies, but there's so much stuff in there. Here you have the plot, and then you got to go back almost like with a fine-tooth comb and pick something out and, study it, analyze it. That's what Zack was doing with this movie. And I didn't see that either, but there's so much going on in every scene. This whole story about Pa Kent, telling him the stories that I did something good. I saved the farm. But the consequence of doing something good was that the Lang farm was destroyed, meaning that even when you try to do the right thing, there will be consequences. And
also the other thing about this is that we know when he asked that question, did the nightmares ever stop? We know he knows that answer.
Yeah.
It's kind of like he's asking that to himself, like, is this shit gonna stop, dude? And at the end of the day, he's kind of given that answer, that reassurance, like, yes, it is gonna stop. It's there. Like, just keep going and you have to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have hope.
Yeah. So I just want to so Jack, I just want to give you a direct response, right? Okay. I'm gonna use an analogy here, right? Main plot, that's your main dish, right? Now you say you have to go back a couple times, you rewatch it, right? You really study it. If you ask me, the first time you watch a film, maybe 2 times, I'll give you that, fine, whatever. 1 or 2 times, you get your main dish, your main plot, right? You understand the main plot. Those extra times you come back and watch, you get some bonuses, right? A little bit of dessert over here, a little bit of appetizer here, a little bit of maybe a drink or two over here, right? But that's not the case with this film. I have to come back 3-4 times to get the main dish rather than the extra, right? If I want extra, I don't go back 7 times.
Again, to use that same analogy, right? And I don't mean it towards you.
No, by all means.
No. What I mean though is there's some people that can sit down and have a one fucking meal of a 64-ounce steak in one sitting, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's a fair point. I am not one.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, well, I mean, at the end of the day, it just kind of depends on how you want to eat. You know what I mean?
There it is. Ding, ding, ding. There it is. Right? Yeah. Like at the end of the day, we can go back and forth about this shit all day, but these are subjective opinions, right?
Yeah,
like we're talking about entertainment here. There is no right or wrong.
Right. And so like that part right there where you hear Nancy Grace, I think, or I forgot her name, but you know, she's a real person. And she's like, you know, why didn't Superman, you know, it's been how many days that we haven't heard of Superman? Like, why hasn't he come out and said something, right? Which is what, you know, Justice was saying. Why doesn't he just come out and say it? So the media, all of the media, constantly 24/7 are asking that, and then going, yeah, well, obviously, you know, we're hearing that Superman was involved in this bombing, so that's probably why he's holding back. You have the media painting Superman as this bad person. So, you know, why would you go and like, dude, fuck you, dude. I'm Superman. I'm gonna deal with that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fly, bitch.
Yeah. Right.
Whoop, into the ground. I love it. Woo-hoo.
That's how you know how fucking sharp that is. That shit just cracked.
Hey, guys, do me a favor, right? Where are you guys? Because I paused it for that whole conversation. I couldn't and have the movie going at the same time.
I'm at 150.
Oh yeah, see that. That was a whole half hour we just did right there.
But I don't think, like, look, I wasn't a huge fan of the theatrical cut, but I still understood the basic plot. This woman was lying. She was paid to lie because that you're saying, why didn't they investigate? Well, if they did investigate, the Congress asked for witnesses. All these witnesses were paid for by Lex to say, oh, yeah, Superman came, he rained down fire on everyone, and all this happened. And again, it's just about public perception in the media. Like Garza was saying, once the media gets a story and they start making their own assumptions, we see this happen all the time. This is why this movie is such a post 9/11 film, because that's kind of what happens. Someone says something, you know, and people take off on social media. Talking heads like Nancy Grace telling their own version of the story, and people are listening to her. And they to go back to something you were saying earlier, like why doesn't the U.S. just go in? Again, post 9/11 movie, everywhere the U.S. has gone in the last 30 years ends in disaster. And you have to remember that country of Nairobi was in civil war, so it's not like it's a peaceful place. They're in civil war with that.
All right, no, that's
so
fair.
You don't want to send the U.S. Army there because even the Delta guys, the Tier 1 operators, they were disguised. They were dressed in
and also the whole reason why he's like, no, well, there's a friendly in the blast zone, so you know, don't just go up. And the army, the CIA is like, now fuck it, it's over, get out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So these are honestly, if I'm being honest, these are more questions outside of this film, right? Because like I don't pay attention, I don't watch the news, I don't know shit about what happens outside of this country when shit pops off, right? So these are just questions in general. Like I would assume that's how that scenario would go, right? But apparently I'm wrong.
Well, no, yeah, and it's unless you're, you know, like, and hell, I might be wrong about it. But I know that, you know, unfortunately, we just can't go in and do things as the government, which is the whole reason why Senator Finch was so upset with Superman doing that. Because at the end of the day, if we're not allowed to do that as American government, then why does Superman get to do that if he gets to represent, quote unquote, America? You know what I mean? And then the other question that is underlying on that is what happens if, like, he goes and saves somebody that's a villain or not, an enemy of our country, right? Like, what if, you know, when we were during Iraq and stuff and we were involved with, you know, the Saddam Hussein and all that stuff, or if Superman got involved, like, would that, one, be ethical, right? Because Superman can do whatever the fuck he wants. But two, like, do we have that kind of control over Superman? Like, no. Bullshit.
I just wanted to point out something real quick. When Lois is abducted and KG Beast is killing, you hear the song, "Every time we say goodbye, I die a little." It's a song, right? KG Beast then repeats that to Martha. He's like, every time we say goodbye or something. He says that line later to Martha right before Batman saves her. Just it's a kind of cool little moment.
But I will say, though, how ballsy is Lex just to fucking kidnap and push her off? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck, dude.
Seriously. He almost started the nightmare right there.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy though is that even one of the best things I love is that when Lex says of evil in the world, and he actually raises his hand because he knows he's not the fucking.
And who was it who said it? Lex is gonna quote Epicurus later.
Yeah, no, that's the best fucking thing when he talks about the God. If God is all good,
yeah,
then he can't be all powerful.
Yeah,
he actually he's shaking too. That's just fucking awesome.
Yeah,
yeah.
But also keep in mind that this is the first time Superman and Lex are talking to each other, right?
Yeah,
and that's the first thing he hears of Superman. Like, fuck you, dude.
I'll give you this much. I really like KG Beast.
Yeah,
I
like
love
the way they
KG
did
Beast.
I like him a lot. He's really good.
How shitty that be like to realize that he knows who you really are.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, no matter what, like imagine you meeting some asshole on the internet, you have no idea who, and all of a sudden they tell you that they know where you live and all this shit, and you're like, wait, what?
So I just heard Lois fall down.
Can-
a few
Yep.
a few seconds ahead, I think. I think I'm a few seconds ahead.
Can I ask you guys a question? Right?
Sure.
Do you okay? So just for context purpose, that scene when they're at Lex's house, right, and they're all having a conversation, and Bruce says that line about, oh, well, every time your hero does something, he saves a cat or a tree, whatever, they praise him, right? Something, I'm paraphrasing, obviously,
Yeah.
but something along those lines, right? That's implying that everybody is on Superman's side, right? Everybody thinks Superman's a hero. Everybody's with him. Is that fair?
No.
No.
How is that?
That's
How?
Bruce. That's Bruce saying over sensing or over what's the word? He's over exaggerating over what they really think about Superman. And that's why he says, your place wants to save a cat out of a tree, but at the end of the day, this alien could burn this place down if he wanted to. And so what does Clark say? As well, not everybody, not most of the world doesn't agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So what my actual question was that I'm at the I told you guys I paused it for a while. So I'm at the Capitol scene, right? Superman shows up in this giant crowd of at least 100 people all talking about how they hate Superman, no more aliens, this and that, right? But the only thing Superman is known to do that's bad was kill those war general people, or I don't know what to call them, right? Those war people in Africa, correct?
That's where it started.
No, that's where the committee started. But you got to keep in mind that if Superman showed up, the world in our world is not going to just embrace some alien. One, that would mess up a lot of people's religious beliefs, because at the end of the day, technically, we're the only ones that are supposed to be, alive, right? I mean, that's how most religions are.
Religions see it, yeah.
Yeah. Two, if we found out that there was a Superman like this being living with us, would we fully trust this dude? That's the whole point of the xenophobia, because when Man of Steel happened, dude, there was a lot of people. I mean, and not to bring it.
Oh yeah, Man of Steel. I forgot. Okay, I forgot about that.
And when you think of 9/11,
all right.
There was a lot of things that changed, specifically with xenophobia back in 2001 and 2 and on planes and all that stuff, big time. And so it's still like that almost today. And we're talking about 21 years later.
Yeah.
So imagine 2 years later after Superman did that shit, there'd be people out there that fucking hate him.
Yeah.
They don't know him.
Fair enough.
They just,
Fair. Fair.
And it's the same thing even with Batman. There are people who fear the Batman. There are people who love him. You know, that scene earlier where Clark is looking for the African woman.
Yeah.
One guy says, you should get out of here because he's in, and then one woman's like, no, only people afraid of him are people who should be, you know. The idea that there are people who are fans of Batman and people who don't like Batman.
But then also we saw like earlier the scene on the news where they were burning a little, you know, puppet version of Superman. Like he was hanging. Like, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are not happy about this shit.
Yeah. And you know, the concept of fear, because even Bruce Wayne in this movie is operating out of pure fear. When he's talking about Superman, he's scared. He's scared possibly for the first time since his parents have died, or maybe since Robin died. This is not the typical Batman. Like, Justice, you're right. This is not the actual Batman because he's not that Batman yet. He becomes that Batman at the end of this movie when he chooses to save Clark. He does not give into his fear. And so fear is kind of a recurring theme in this movie, you know. So are we at the KG Beast with Martha right now, or
No.
Okay.
Or at least I'm not.
He just told Lois that he had to go with Gotham.
Okay, so you're slightly ahead of me, Ty. You're a little bit behind me because I think the scene I'm talking about is coming up right now, where he's with Martha and again the concept of mothers is, you know, reoccurring. You know, the last thing Thomas Wayne says is So it's not like, he's like, we have the same mom's name. It's when he heard that name, he thought of his own mother, and it created a moment. It was like PTSD, like it triggered something in him. He's reliving those moments, walking to her grave, seeing his father say that, and he's actually screaming at him. It's not until Lois says it's his mother's name, it's his mother, like that he actually starts to like kind of pull back. It's actually Lois saying that it's his mother, because at that point he's so angry. He's like, why did you say that name? But Garza, that line, no one stays good in this world, you know.
Oh man, I love it, right?
But like,
I love that line.
So like, that's so human, right? I mean, it's just like, in the like, I can't do it, specifically when he knows that he's got his mother's life on the line. Like, either Batman's gonna fucking join him, or guess what, his mom is gonna live. Those are the two options.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Either Batman joins me to help me out, or save my mother's life.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and we already know what that entails.
Yeah, that's a little bit much on the ringing. I guess I can hear it. I guess I can hear it. What?
So interesting thing
I love about
go ahead.
The thing I love about this part is that right after this, it literally becomes a full-on comic book movie. So imagine Justice League being like what we're about to get, where we get, I mean, think of this third act, right? We have Batman and Superman fighting. We have the Batman warehouse scene, and then we have the Doomsday fight. Like, that is so much, and I cannot believe we got it all. Oh, I love it.
Right. Yeah, that was one of the things that I feel like some people were like, that Lex took the time to make each hero a logo. But I don't know. I don't know if necessarily that's how it went down, but
I mean, who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, if he's been watching them for that long,
exactly.
They could all have their own logos or something, some reason why that it's there. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's those things that I really don't take too seriously.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Somebody flying.
Exactly. Just remember. We all do have to suspend a slight amount of.
We have trouble believing about fucking logos. Like, what the fuck do you want to do? Like, if you want the logos, you'd be upset about it anyways. You'd be like, that's not their fucking logos.
But on the other hand, like, this is a very realistic world. In this world, you don't see like Aquaman coming up with a logo and putting it on a shirt or anything.
Yeah,
like that,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Except for Batman and
you know,
Superman, who have their own. But So I like the idea that someone else came up with it, and maybe the idea that their names are given by the media, because Wonder Woman still hasn't been called Wonder Woman yet. No one's called her that.
Keep in mind that Wonder Woman doesn't. She only has like W's or whatever, but Flash has a suit already, and we know that he's doing stuff in Central City, and we also know Aquaman. If they're something like that, then obviously he's been researched enough to where they know something about somebody living in the fucking deepest part of our oceans.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but what's great about this fight is that it lasts 8 minutes or something like that, which is exactly almost how long it lasts.
I
in the
love
Dark
it.
Knight in the animated
Oh, really?
version. Yeah, it's cool because you don't realize that because they're talking.
Huh.
I love that part. He just fucking flicks him. Yeah. I almost feel
I didn't mean to meet.
When he's by the time people are always like, well, why doesn't he just tell him? Why doesn't he just? And I'm like, did you guys not just watch the past 2 hours of him trying to figure out why Batman's doing what he's doing, and then hearing that Batman is a bully? So he's going, all right, I'm gonna teach this fucking guy a lesson. I'm sorry. Like if he's gonna fuck with me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna fuck with him real quick because I got a few minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. I got a few minutes.
Yeah.
And he's
because at the end of the day,
he said no one stays good in this world. He might actually have to kill Batman to save his mom.
right, he doesn't want to, but he's trying to knock some sense into him. He's literally going, "Will you just fucking listen to me?" And Batman's going, "Nope." He has all these fucking traps and shit. So he's like, "All right, fine, motherfucker. Okay, you want to keep fucking with me? Here, I'll just fly you up to this building."
Yeah,
he says it. That's why it's such a brilliant line when he's like, "Listen, if I wanted it, you'd be fucking dead already." Okay,
right.
It's not until he is on his knees gasping for air because he realizes that kryptonite fucking weakens him, that he's going, holy shit, I'm gonna have to actually fight for my life. So you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm not gonna hold back anymore.
No more.
So fucking
do you wish that they used the line, the line that
Yes. I already know what you're gonna say. It's
do you wish that
it's time you learn what it means to be a man. Yes, I do. And I feel like he would have said it right before. He would have said it right here. Like, it's time you learn what it means to be a man. Breathe it in. Fear. Yeah. Then he would have said, "You're not brave."
Right.
My God, how amazing would that have been? Ooh. Just, he doesn't give a fuck. I feel like he could have said it right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then right there. They might have just taken it out. I don't know why. But you realize, though, he was going for his head right here. Like, he didn't know he was going to get stopped. And he would have got clocked.
Yeah, he did get clocked, too.
Yeah, Superman would have fucking knocked his head off. But then he stopped and he was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's realizing, holy shit, that shit has fucked me up.
Yeah, you're right. If he had punched him, he probably would have killed him. Like, the look he has before he punches is like, I have no choice. I got to kill this guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he wasn't expecting him to have kryptonite. Like,
yeah. And it's possible that
at the end of the day, he doesn't even know what kryptonite. Well, he doesn't even know what kryptonite is. Yeah,
exactly.
Like, he's not going. And here's the other thing too that you got to realize: this was never tested or anything. So Bruce has no fucking idea how long the effects are going to last on Clark. You know, like if it wears, does it wear off at a certain point of time? Like, all he's going off of is literally data right now. There is no way that he could have tested it out as far as how long it would stay in his system. And so that's why now he realizes, oh, okay, he's getting his strength back up. I got to do something quick.
Yeah.
Right.
But also at the same time, Batman still has more kryptonite on the basement. So he knows he needs to get down there for that reason.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And what's interesting is no matter how hard he's getting hit, Superman still hasn't bled yet. Like, he's getting hurt.
He's just getting hit.
Still, he's still strong even in a weakened state.
Which would be fucking scary too, because you're like, I'm literally knocking this guy out, and he's fucking just, it's like I'm barely hitting him.
I moved up a little bit. Is this where Batman's punching Superman? Is that where you guys are at? And like, it stops working.
One sec.
Yeah, this is where he's like, all right, I need to get my second dose in there.
Yeah. The look that Clark gives him is kind of funny, kind of like, yeah, what's up? Like,
yeah, exactly.
And then the way Batman puts his hand up, like almost like, uh-oh.
Yeah. But see, like this second dose is stronger and it's affecting him more, and that's why he gets knocked out. Which is awesome, because then you realize, okay, I guess it's the compound is exponential. Like, even though it was wearing off, it's still, because that's in his system now, it's like it doubles the effects.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It's because it's already, yeah,
it was already in there, so now it's just exponentially getting worse for him. That's why he gets knocked out. I mean, I remember watching this in the theater, and I was like, "Holy shit! He is literally kicking his ass right now." Yeah,
and he's putting the mitts to him.
Yeah, I was like, "How the fuck is he getting out of this?" You know, in my head, I'm going, "Dude, how is this?"
What?
Yeah, I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, how is he getting out of this?"
I'm not muted.
Including the kitchen sink. Boom.
Oh, this fucking line, dude. Lines of dialogue right here.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I bet your parents taught you something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At point in time, specifically during this point, he still thinks that he's like some alien. He's like, dude, I bet your parents that are aliens sent you here. You know what I mean? Talk about you. Like, he's not thinking he has a fucking mom and dad.
Yeah,
so
you're
just
right.
Going, he's just going, dude, I bet your parents sent you here because they thought you were some special thing. Well, my parents made me learn that I had to fucking deal with my emotions and problems. Like, that's why he says it.
I didn't even think about that when Bruce is giving this speech to Superman.
He's speaking about like his real parents, not his earthling parent. Like, why would you think? You don't know, and Bruce probably doesn't know that he grew up in Kansas. How would he know he grew up anywhere, right? He just goes, well, this guy just grew up. Also, Zod never says. Only thing Zod says is that he was hiding from them on our planet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, because our world destroyed.
Well, yeah, the Martha scene. This I think gets crapped on way too hard. I even like when I saw the theatrical version, I was maybe not too happy with that version. I understood this scene. I wasn't like, oh, this is so stupid. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, how am I? I've been reading these comics all my life. Never realized that they have the same you know.
Yeah.
The same.
Well, that's even the big thing. It's the fact that he tells him that he's letting him kill Martha.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? The whole reason why he would even know to say Martha is because he knows that Batman's parents got killed. So he knows what that name means.
Oh.
So what he is saying is he's going, I know this is my last attempt. I need you to go help Martha. Like, that's it. And so, and I put this in my situation, right? Like, people that haven't lost anybody close to them, this may not mean anything to them. Daughter, if I were to hear her name, and her name's Madison, I don't ever hear her name. Like, I barely hear her name. So if somebody were to tell me I need to go save Madison, if I'm in a fight, I'd be like, what'd you just say? Like,
it would stop you dead in your tracks.
Yeah, it would cut me up emotionally in both anger and like curiosity to be like, what did you just say to me? Like, how would you even know it? Like, I'd want to know. I'd be like, how do you know that name? How does that name mean something to me? And you're telling me that. So that's why it's important for him. It's not until Lois says, hey, look, that's his mother's name.
Yeah.
That he's like, Batman is realizing, holy shit, I literally am Joe Chill right now at this moment. Because I'm about to prevent another Martha living because I'm trying to decide that I need to make this kill for whatever this fucking reason. There's nothing going on.
There's shame on his face. There was shame on his face when he's like looking back. Like,
and he's looking down. He's like, fuck. Yeah. What the fuck was I doing? That's why he's so upset and he throws it. He's like, "Fuck this! What was I doing, dude?"
Yeah. Like, to me, this is where he becomes Batman again. Like,
yeah, and it's like, and he's like, "Fuck." You know what? What does he decide to do? He's like, "Look, dude, I know you don't trust me, but look, I promise you, Martha won't die tonight, dude. I'm gonna make it my fucking mission that she is taken care of." Like, imagine being able to get that specifically for Batman when we know that that's important to him.
Right.
There's a cool moment of trust here. Like, when Batman says, "I will find
Because
her,"
they-
Clark's
What's
not like,
beautiful. Yeah, exactly. Clark doesn't question, like, what are you going to do? Like, how, tell me. It's like, no. Okay, dude, if you're going to make me a promise, which again is something he had said, you know what promises are worth, right? Like, that was what he had said to Alfred. You know what promises are worth, right? So for him to even come out and say, "I'll make you a promise," that is him going, "Listen, I'm telling you," which is in itself a big deal for Bruce, because that now means Bruce believes in himself and can actually say there with a promise, like, "I'm good. I know what I'm doing now." And so you're right. Like Superman and Batman, he would have had to have said, "Okay, I trust you. I can't ask you how. I just know that you're Batman." Like, okay, dude, you're gonna,
because if Batman, dude, of course he's gonna do it.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, man. And it's actually perfect that it's Batman, because here's the thing: if it was Clark, guess what Clark would have done? He would have showed up, and the moment he showed up, he would have broken through something, and guess what? She would have got lit on fire. But because they didn't,
exactly.
Because they had no idea what's going on and who is entering and what's going on in any of this situation, he's like, holy shit, he doesn't know how to react. You get what I mean?
And Clark wouldn't have been able to find her. Like, he didn't know where.
Exactly. Clark wouldn't have known where he's at, but
But
the whole point is that they got his phone, and so they knew that he was a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it was like last time you were on, where I said that.
That's actually true in real life. Like, absolutely, he's like, "Well, yeah, you almost killed me. So anybody can handle it." Yeah.
Oh, how did I hide that? There it is. Hey.
Love this fucking dude. Like, talk about a Batman fuck. Just the fact that we've never seen a Batman action scene like this. I mean, dude. So imagine I just watched Batman kick ass, and I thought that was badass, and then all of a sudden we get this fucking scene. I mean, I couldn't even. I could go back to the first time I watched this.
We've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's so
so insane.
Okay.
But I have to think that the Arkham games maybe were an inspiration, because the way he fights just reminds me so much of those video games. Just the way he's like flowing. He's like water, just like flowing, you know.
And also too, so another interesting thing that's kind of on the level is that a lot of the times in this whole movie, we would see Bruce looking up or down. Like, he was looking at things up, he didn't understand it. And if he was looking down on things, he had control on it.
Yeah.
The fact that he comes up from the floor up down means that he's kind of, it's his like rebirth and kind of learning anew, which I thought was interesting, because that was what I had actually said. I had said that during those BVS challenge thing that Zack did on Vero, and he chose mine to be, because that's what, what they were going for.
Right.
I noticed it all.
I like it. I didn't even, you know what I mean?
Takes off
those
just,
like,
fuck this, guys.
I'm wondering if Batman's gonna have a scene like this in the Justice League where he fights.
Oh no, he is.
Yeah.
He is. He's just with parademons.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I can't wait for.
this is so well
Yeah.
shot.
Oh, dude, that's what I'm saying. This movie here, this scene fucked it up for me because I didn't realize, and no disrespect to Marvel, it's just what they do and that's cool. But they have shaky cam when they do their action.
Yeah,
And so the
They
fact that I was witnessing this entire action sequence, the way it changed my perception on how action could be shot,
yeah.
given to us on the screen. And so after this is when I started noticing what's going on. I thought this scene was brilliant, but also this whole entire scene, thanks to Damon Caro, he was the one that really did it as far as stunt coordinator is concerned.
Yes.
And this is Dark Knight Returns right here with the gun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I believe
Like,
you.
I believe you. Yeah. Every time somebody says like a line, like I'll do it or something like that, believe me, like my daughter will be like, I believe you.
That's great. This is the closest thing to comedy that I enjoy. This line right here.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's such a, like, she's like, I guess you're a friend of my son.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I guess the Kate, man. She almost lost her life. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
He's so thankful. Like, fuck, dude. I just almost lost it. The only thing I will say, the only problem I have with this entire fucking movie, and it's rare that I would have that, but my only problem is when we see her running trips. I kind of question. I'm like, well, one, I know that she realizes she probably needs to get that, but why'd y'all make her fucking run and trip? Like, well, it's not like there was an earthquake going on. You know? Saying, like, yeah, he did. What's brilliant about this too is that Lex still had an out. So if they would have killed Martha or whatever would have happened, still had the option to cancel the animation. That's why we get in here and it's like 30 seconds, 20 seconds. Because he's going, fine. If you didn't get that, then I have this backup plan. So fuck it. I'll let the devil just fucking do it.
But the look on his face when he hears Batman's voice, he's like,
yeah. Well, also too, they removed this line where he says, "Only controls me, blood of my blood, your doomsday." They removed that line, and it's just blood of my blood, right. Doomsday. But like Lex's original thought was that he would be able to control Doomsday because he had his blood.
Yeah.
So he wasn't thinking Doomsday was going to just fucking wreak havoc without like a reason. He was thinking, okay, well, I'll be able to control him. Fuck it. And found out, nope.
Right.
What's funny about it, if you think about the line of dialogue and all that, so he was telling Superman, you know, no man intervened. No man from the sky intervened for me when Daddy was hitting me with his fists and abominations. Right. All of a sudden, Superman comes and literally saves him from Doomsday's fist. Which, again, it's little things like that you're going to take it that way.
Garza, did you ever like a lot of people?
I love Batman sees it and he's like, "Oh Jesus Christ!"
Look at that CG. What were you saying?
People always compared the way Doomsday looks before he transforms. He looks like the cave troll from Lord of the Rings, and there was a lot of, I guess, hate. You know, sometimes I thought unnecessary as to the design of Doomsday. Did that ever bother you the way he looked?
Well, no, because this isn't the real Doomsday. Like, this is literally Zod, and it's Doomsday. Not the real Doomsday. Literally, there's a broken moon in Man of Steel. That is because that was the real Doomsday and where he was originated. So, like, this is like a Walmart version of Doomsday. Monster. Yeah, like this isn't. Yeah, this is Doomsday, but other than him, Lex calling him Doomsday, like this is still Zod's body. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's that moment where
and
Doomsday looks at the statue. He
And it's
recognized
because he recognized it, and he looks at him and he looks back at him and he's like, I recognize you. And that's why they said, what is it? They only recognize like madness or whatever. I forgot the term. Yeah, dude, this is not he only remembers certain things, but he remembers obviously Superman. That's the whole reason why he's like fucking trying to kill him.
Right. And I feel like people forget that, like, when Lex is creating him, the ship does say, like, this has been outlawed. So this isn't like this has been done before.
Yeah.
This isn't Doomsday, right? This is a different.
Right. And it's so funny because it's like people are like, why would it even do that? It's like, just imagine your computer saying, do you want to restart? Yes or no? And you go, no. It doesn't restart. Like it listens to however whatever you select. You know what I mean? So same thing with the ship. He says, no, continue. Like, I don't give a fuck. But to answer that question, I don't think we'll get an origin of Doomsday unless it was maybe planned for League 2, but like as a history lesson type thing, because just like Zack has always said, these dominoes start to fall in a certain way that you can only go a certain amount before you either have to like start over or you like do some kind of history with it, because you can't have Doomsday in this and then have him again as an origin or original Doomsday in a different film. Like once you get the Justice League, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I always made the analogy that this is a version of Doomsday in the same way that in the MCU they have MJ. It's not Mary Jane Watson, but it's like an iteration of her in this universe. You know what I mean? Like she, I forgot the actress's name. The one who plays MJ in the
Zidania,
yeah. She's not Mary Jane Watson, but she's called MJ. She's sort of like, maybe a version or an interpretation of that character, not necessarily Mary Jane Watson with the red hair, the girl next door type of thing and all that. So that's how we always looked at Doomsday. Like, this isn't the Doomsday from the comics, but it's maybe Zack Snyder's version of Doomsday. But, if Zack keeps going, who knows? Maybe, Garza, do you think if Zack continues to do his thing, do you think we could see Doomsday in the future? Like the original comics Doomsday?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, I don't know. I've said this all the time. Like, dude, okay, we got Steppenwolf coming in and just you can't. Doomsday's already on his way. Like, you can't bring in another villain for Justice League 2. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be looming there. So you have to do something. So I figure it'd be more of a nightmare version, because you can't just like bring in some other alien invasion. Like, dude, it doesn't narratively, it doesn't make sense. Like, this story makes sense. Like, Doomsday's just a beast. He's not trying to take over the world, right?
Yeah.
That was the last movie, Zod. In this movie, it's just this creature. And also, up until this creature was born, it was literally surface level with Superman and Batman. Nobody knew they were fighting. Nobody was like, oh, I'm going to watch Batman beat Superman. Like, no, this is all literally on surface level for those two. So nobody in the world knew that they were fighting. It wasn't until this moment when Doomsday appears that everyone's like, oh, what's happening? And it wasn't until this moment that people realize, hey, Batman's helping Superman. Like, that's interesting. And then all of a sudden it appears out of nowhere. Like, so you can imagine everybody knowing that Superman risked his life. That's why they, those circuses back east are doing that, because they're honoring him, but they also don't know how to honor him. They're going, we treat him like a soldier, but wasn't a part of the military. He gave his life, and we know as the military that we literally shot our biggest fucking weapon. We have nothing stronger than a nuke, and it didn't kill that fucking.
Yeah.
And Superman did. We know that he was responsible for that.
Yeah. And also people, even the naysayers, realize why he's important, why they need Superman. because this was created by Lex Luthor, you know.
Yeah, and everybody realizes that, holy shit, Superman literally just saved his life, or no, saved our lives and risked his. Like Zod, they didn't know that was happening. They didn't know who was fighting. They didn't know what a Superman was. They didn't know what a Kryptonian was. They do know now. Yeah. They know about all of that. And so for them to all know that Superman did this and protected us again, that's a pretty big fucking deal.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? The cut that Batman left on his cheek has been with him the entire time, but once he gets re-energized by the sun, that cut disappears.
Right, which is because it was cut by Kryptonite 1, and 2, he hadn't been in the sun yet. So I love how he says this. Like, what are you saying, Calvin? Like, what the fuck? Get to the point when you tell me. What are you telling me, dude?
Yeah.
And what does he say? Yeah, it's unkillable, dude. Like, think about that. What would you do in the government? Like, you'd be literally fucked. You'd be like, everything that we've given it, it's gotten stronger. Guess what? We just gave it our strongest fucking weapon, and I can only imagine that it's going to get even more stronger because of that.
Right.
And you can't kill it. Like, we don't have a.
I think even though we only saw this in Justice League, I go to Ty's point. I really like this Alfred Bruce relationship more than Michael Caine, and I thought Michael Caine was great, but I think I like this a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a servant.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Michael Caine at all, but that was the portrayal that Nolan was going for, which is great. But yeah, I don't see this. I don't feel like this version of Alfred. I failed you. Like he's willing to talk to him directly. The Michael Caine version wasn't talking to him directly, but treating him like a son. Whereas this one is treating him like an equal, which is why he was shouldn't be fucking branding people, dude. Like this guy's not stop it. What the fuck are you doing? What's your problem, dude? But at the same time, he knows that this Bruce is gonna do whatever he fucking wants. He's just there to tell him you're doing it wrong. I'm just telling you. That way you have no one to blame except yourself.
Yeah, he's there to remind him, like, hey, remember, like, who you used to be?
That's who you need to be.
Yeah.
But what you're doing, I don't know why you're fucking around right now,
right,
Bruce.
So the reason that I feel like I told you this last time you were here, but like when I saw BVS Ultimate Edition, even when I saw the theatrical cut, like I needed that film at that time, and
me too.
This movie just it speaks to me like no other film has ever spoken to me. And Man of Steel was great. I loved Man of Steel. I'm glad that was that movie exists. But until BVS, right? Like, that's when my perception on what superhero films could be.
Yeah. Not only that, it changed my perception of movies, period. Like
period. Yes.
Like this.
Exactly.
And when they were announcing this movie, I was kind of worried, are they going to try to make it like the Avengers? And nope, this is nothing like any of the Marvel
movies. This is a completely different thing.
So imagine my experience when I went to go see Civil War. I was like, what the fuck is this?
What is this fucking movie?
This humor right here where it's like, dude, did you find the spear? Like he can hear him talking about it, right? Yeah. And I love how Superman's reaction is like, dude, is she with you, dude? Like she's talking about killing things. Surely she's gonna be with you. And Bruce is like, bro, I thought she was with you the whole time. Like, what the fuck?
See, that's humor that could be in a battle between one
because they're not fighting yet.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything yet.
Right. Like that humor is placed correctly, and it's humor, but it's also really like
it's like serious, though. It's like exactly. At that point in time, they're basically telling all of themselves. They're telling, "I trust you to be in this battle. I trust you to be my side, right? By my side. I believe in it. I'm okay with it. But at the end of the day, I thought she was part of your level set, not mine. Like,
right?
Why would she like? But also, they got to trust each other, right? So,
Right.
We know
So
at that point in time, we know that Superman and Wonder Woman are they can test it. They could deal with it. And then he sees her leap. He's like, oh, okay. Well, never mind. We're good.
Yep. So for anyone just stopping in, we're at the beginning of the Doomsday fight with the Trinity. So
Fucking love that. And the fact that we find out that her sword can cut the Doomsday skin, you
Yeah.
realize, oh shit, she could fucking kill Superman if she wanted to with that sword. Like, there's no fucking around, dude. She can kill Superman.
right there. Hi, 1 second. I'll be right there.
Also, one of the better things about this film, in case anybody, the action isn't chopped up. Like, it's all action. There's no a break because there needs to be.
I never get over the Wonder Woman theme either.
So, the line where she says earlier, I've killed things from other worlds before. Given what we've seen in Wonder Woman 1 in 1984, I don't know why I assumed that she had been to space, maybe. But I guess that's sort of ignored in the subsequent films. That at some point she fought other creatures.
I've killed things from other worlds before. Like, it doesn't.
But she's never left Earth, so I'm assuming you have things come. I feel like this movie was going to set up a very different Wonder Woman than the one we were seeing in the Patty Jenkins film. But because she didn't leave the mascara until World War. Yeah.
Well, we don't. Before that line of dialogue was written, even the other dialogue, right, when she steps away from mankind, 100 years, she doesn't say, "I got to Earth." All right. It says she stepped away from mankind 100 years. Literally, she could have done so many more things for the night. What was intended, right? I mean, that's that she was involved in the Crimea War and killed other things from other worlds. It means she's 5,000 years old. So surely enough, there's other beings that.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird. I mean, if we look too deep into it, I suppose
it's a beautiful line because it gives so much exposition to something that could explain literally in 5 fucking movies, right?
Yeah,
explain that line, and that's why even with the story route that they went to with the first one, way that kind of retconned that line.
Right.
That line would work if she literally left mankind's place and did her own thing, but for that movie, it's like she came out in. Whereas the line and her saying she's killed things from other worlds, it's not like she's only been doing that within the past 100 years. No,
right.
Centuries ago. You know what I mean? But because Wonder Woman did what they did, they kind of retconned that line. But in a way, they didn't because she doesn't exactly say when,
Agree. I agree.
This shot though, man, god damn. So, by the way, for those that don't know, like we're going to be seeing. So when Batman shot that grenade, we're going to be seeing this, but from Batman's point of view. So Batman, like at the beginning of this, he was witnessing him destroying Earth. He's going to be witnessing him saving our world.
Yeah.
So that way we kind of see his perspective and his mindset going, which is how it always is. That's why we're seeing that slow-mo shot of Superman.
So that's confirmed.
Oh yeah, no. Not only was it confirmed, I wrote about it happening.
Okay.
Well, he confirmed it on our DC fandom trip, like whenever we talked to him. But then he said that several times that going to basically open with Superman's death again.
Oh yeah,
But
so I knew that. I knew that it was going to open with the death.
But it's going to be from his point of view, and he's the one that said that you're supposed to see that kind of that yin and yang from we're first introduced to Batman, seeing Superman. He is enemy. He hates this guy.
Yeah.
Justice League. He's watching him literally sacrifice himself for our world. And the beautiful thing is because after that shot, after we see Batman shoot that grenade, we don't see Batman again. We don't see him until he comes back from behind that rubble.
Right.
This whole time we haven't seen Superman. So at this point, we're going to be seeing Batman looking at Superman sacrificing.
Zack has a love for Renaissance art, but this is just so well shot,
Yeah, and this is like art. Of paintings.
It's going to be nice to see it all come full circle finally.
So Zack was doing what he wanted to do because they weren't going to fire him for if he was still giving them like a studio film, right? Like they don't know what else he's shooting, and it's not like they're going. You can only shoot this amount of scenes, like
yeah.
Make my own film too. The fact that we're getting his his.
What's the way Ben's looking at him, like you can just kind of. I feel like there's a little bit of shame there. Like maybe this is somehow my fault, even though if he hadn't created that spear, they wouldn't have killed Doomsday. But there's a sense of guilt there that I said I
Absolutely.
was part of a series of events that basically killed him, and I always talked about this. Yeah,
that's what his whole failed him in life. Like, dude,
yeah,
the fact that this dude or I'm about to kill him. He tells me, he's not even fighting anymore. He's just telling me to go save somebody that's dear to him. And after that, excuse me. Look at that Big Daddy step, man. Oh.
Yeah. And again, they cut the scene out. So later, when in the theatrical version,
you don't even see it.
I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? The bell has been rung. Like, who heard it? It just made no sense. And by the way, say what people say about Lex Luthor. When Jesse's head is shaved, he looks really different. I mean, he looks intense.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that shot right here,
yeah.
When they take off the thing,
agreed.
He looks at you.
That's why whenever he's on the boat, and just shaved head, like it's like he's taking that persona. Origin story. This wasn't. Zack even said it on our as an arc for.
So, Garza.
Yeah.
Do you? Oh, fine. Wait. Like, yeah. You gonna fucking ask the question or what?
Yeah.
But so, do you think? And I know me and you have talked about this like behind the scenes, and we won't get into what how it started, but some people have gone on to say that there will be no human Green Lantern in Zack Snyder's Justice League. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think that's true? Kind of true? False?
Well, I mean, I know that there's not going to be. I know that because
Ty,
doesn't
did you hear that?
necessarily. You hear me? Oh, what?
Yeah,
No,
it goes
I
like
didn't
in
hear
and
anything.
out. Yeah, it
Oh,
goes in
sorry.
and out like it
Sorry.
disappears.
It's because I'm not talking close to the mic.
Oh.
So when it comes to like Hal Jordan and John Stewart, we know who Hal Jordan was going to be. It was going to be. It wasn't necessarily him that was the deciding factor. It was because of the person that he was trying to get for John Stewart. I know the story behind it. I know who it was. I'm not going to say it because Zack specifically asked for it not to come out. So the fact that he doesn't want anybody to know who he was going for, there's two ways that I look at that. Either one, he was serious and he didn't get him and he's still upset, and so he removed him entirely. Two, he didn't want the news to get out and it's going to be a surprise, because the reason of why it didn't work out, to me, in my personal opinion, sounds like fucking bullshit. I'm like, that's so like, it doesn't sound right at all. But
Right.
like, I can't, like, if that's what was told to me, then that's what was told. Like, I can't just like go off of it. You know what I mean? So, but what I will say is that with now what they've done is where those two Green Lanterns were going to show up in Justice League, which is always going to be an end shot anyways. It's not like they weren't going to be involved in anything. They weren't going to be part of anything. They were just going there to warn Bruce. They have now been replaced with Martian Manhunter.
Which is what I figured would be the case, right?
Yeah. Which is it's smart because you just add Martian Manhunter. You don't have to rush Green Lanterns into your for your film, and you can always come back and get those guys, the two that he wants, for a later time. Because it's not a guarantee. That's not. Imagine you're trying to pitch your idea to an actor. Okay, now keep in mind you got to put your Hollywood hat on, right? You're pitching an idea to an actor, and you're telling them, "I need you, or I'm asking you to show up for literally this small part in this film, but
wait till
it'd be paying out in the next one." Oh, well, when's the next one? Well,
we don't know if it will happen.
I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I need your commitment on if you can be involved in it. Oh, well, what about other work? Well, you have to trust me. Like, like how do you pitch that to somebody, right? You can't just tell somebody, specifically an actor in this point in time with the pandemic, and say, I need you to not take any work just in case I get greenlit for my film. Like, dude, no actor, and I don't think Zack would ask them of that anyways, right? But like, you wouldn't do that to somebody, and so that's what it comes down to. So
it's easy.
Process. Well, go on, Ty.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's going to be easier. So now, a hypothetical here would be that it would be easier to remove the character from the project that's coming out on March 18th. Hopefully, get the second two the continuation greenlit and film Justice League 2 and 3 at the same time for HBO Max. Bring the actor in and just start the Green Lantern story in 2 and then continue it in 3.
Yeah, because you can always add a prequel or animated prequel or something like that to show where they were at, because they would have shown up going, hey, and it literally would have been that line that Manhunter's going to be saying, there's a war coming, right? Doomsday's on his way.
Right.
I know you guys killed Steppenwolf. That's great, but he's not even the fucking big bad guy. And then, and so that's all they would have been there for. They're not going to sit there and bring in constructs and like fight anybody. Like, they were just there to warn them.
Right. And
so,
we'll still get a Green Lantern in the history lesson. Am I correct?
Correct.
Right.
But so imagine Justice League 2, or maybe, so remember how I was saying there's not a lot, you can't really do, another world invasion of Earth for Justice League 2 when you know Doomsday's on his way, right? But
Right.
you know what you could do is you could literally introduce the Green Lanterns and have them off-world, and that be your main action and main story thought or story through in Justice League 2. And that's why, instead of doing an animated prequel, you do a sort of pseudo type prequel of Justice or Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
Green Lantern Corps, right? I mean, that's
and I think it's no coincidence that the HBO Green Lantern show that we know is coming now. I know the original was pitched as more of a buddy cop kind of story, the Green Lantern Corps. This new one that's coming is absent.
No. The buddy cop that you're thinking of, that was when
yes,
Warrior
that one was
pitching it.
the Green Lantern Corps, right? That was
part of like Zack saying, all right, fine, if we're gonna have all these other films coming outside of my world, then that's one of them. And Goyer was involved with that, and that's why Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan were gonna be like a buddy cop.
Right. And now Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart are the only ones missing from the description of the new Green Lantern show. So it's like exactly. And
because they're saving them, but
that's what I said, right? So it's most likely because they're being used. I feel like that's telling in itself, right?
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I had heard behind the scenes that Jeff Johns was doing a lot of things behind the scenes still with like Hal Jordan's character, and that's why like a part of it was if Green Lantern was going to show up and it was going to be a Hal Jordan, that Jeff Johns was going to be getting some kind of credit, and I believe it would have been because they were going to do a similar story to how he had already come up with something. And so part of, getting that kind of, in Hollywood, you have to credit that person, right? I mean,
of course.
And now granted, he did give it up, but it's still, I think Zack knew that if I were to try to use this, I'm going to have to give him credit. Regardless if he gave it up, I'm still going to have to give him credit. So they decided to hold off on it because,
Yeah. That's not a terrible idea.
Right. Yeah. And then I also think, when it comes to what we'll be getting, I mean, there's so many things that we don't even know about. Like, dude, nobody fucking knew Granny Goodness was showing up in Justice League. Like, you're not gonna tell me that we knew that there was this big ass fucking Dark Knight tank showing up in BVS or
Oh my god! That by the way, I didn't even so I didn't get to do anything. I didn't do a live stream this morning because I was up. The last stream I showed up on last night was Nicotina with Ohio Dave, and that ended at like 5 o'clock this morning. I slept through 4 alarms all the way till 2 p.m. today. Woke up.
Yeah, but like, if you think about those little things, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that Zack even got those in, like, at what point? Like, I know this is a 4-hour film.
Yeah.
And theoretically, we've only seen like 50 minutes, but even those 50 minutes, probably about 20 to 25 minutes of those are tamed by Jeff Jones rewrites.
Yeah.
So, like, at what point you're talking about 3.5 hours of shit we have no idea about?
That's still more than most films are.
Yeah.
So
3.5 hours. That's a long ass. That's 7 scenes. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I love
it's
it.
just like in my head, I'm going, Zack is a fucking madman, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
And that bat tank that we saw, that thing makes the tumbler and even Zack's Batmobile look like a bitch.
That makes it look like a Like, when we saw that, I was in all honesty, like, dude, that looks like a comic book. It looks digital. It doesn't look photoreal, if you know what I mean. Like it looks. And that's why I'm saying it looks. I feel like it's going to look like the aesthetic is going to be like Watchmen, where it's meant to look like a comic book. It's not meant to be a real world setting. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that shot. That's not a real. That's a full on digital CGI shot. There's not a real element in it.
And I'm more than okay
on
with
Twitter. I read on Twitter that might be one of the reshoots. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, I don't think it's a reshoot, but what I actually think it might be like concept art that they.
Oh.
added some elements to. Like, I don't know. It looks so much more.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about this Lex scene. That, and imagine this. A lot of people were kind of like, "What is he doing? Like, why is he so fucking freaked out?"
Right.
So Steppenwolf just literally hacked those fucking Amazons and fucking beasts. Probably why. Like, imagine him knowing all the knowledge that the Kryptonian ship has. They would know about the New Gods because I'm talking to him about mother boxes, so he would know what they've done in the past.
Yeah, because he says,
So-
tell me everything, not just a little bit, but everything.
Teach me everything. Yeah. So Lex now has the knowledge of all of that, which, given that kind of, yeah, exactly, is all clear now, which is why I think at the end. So if you really look at this, yeah, Lex did some bad shit, right? But he was always hiring people to do bad shit. At the end of the day, he didn't really take anybody out himself. Okay. Put it that way. He never really did anything hands-on. Like, yeah, sure, he was involved with Doomsday's creation, but wasn't control. He didn't control Doomsday. He didn't control. You know what I mean? To the day, KG Beast's hands were dirty. Lex's.
Exactly.
So I feel like Zack did that on purpose because in this nightmare world, Lex would be one of the people that Batman would have to like
align himself with.
Yeah, and because he has, I mean,
exactly.
He hasn't done anything to where he's like actually killed somebody. He's always hiring people and always like.
Yeah, and a good villain typically won't do his own dirty work.
Gotta ask Zack, like, what? Get an answer for why the fucking dirt. We still don't know.
Right. And then, how long do you think, or how long is the trailer gonna be tomorrow? 2.5, 3 minutes?
I think maybe 2 minutes, 2:10, maybe 2:14.
2:14 would make sense, honestly.
Oh.
Yeah.
2:14 would make sense. That would hit right on the money.
Nobody would be able to say that it's on 2:14 at 2:14, literally a 2:14 movie.
The irony of it all, I love it.
Right, and I only say that it doesn't need to be that long because it is able to fit and condense a storyline. I could condense BVS, and I've done it several times. 2-minute 20 trailers, like it's not. Get the gist of what the film's about, and you get a lot of cool things. But it, 2 minute 15 second trailer. That's all you need. You don't need.
Yeah, I totally agree. The thing about trailers these days is everyone wants them to give everything away, but
they're mad if they do.
Yeah, the job of a trailer is to get you excited for the film, not to give every single thing away, right? I know as comic book fans, we tend to want to see more, but then we bitch about it in hindsight because, that would have been a nice reveal.
Yeah.
Which I don't think, people always talk about the controversial thing about old Doomsday trailer reveal. And, at the end of the day, like, dude, would I have loved to see Doomsday in the film? Would I have loved to see that Trinity shot in the film? Would I have loved to see Wonder Woman in the film and had no idea that Wonder Woman was going to be in it? Absolutely. That would have worked for someone like me who was going to go see it regardless of what the outcome of the film was. Okay.
Yeah.
But the general audience, they needed to see that because guess what? Had they not have seen all of that opening weekend wouldn't have been as big. And it wouldn't have made 300 or something million. Like it wouldn't have. So
right. Because
with
general audiences needed to know that there was another monster.
Right. And so with this trailer, that's the reason why we're getting Granny Goodness in the shot, because I mean, our reaction as fans are going, what the fuck, dude? They literally added Granny Goodness. The general audience is going, wait, I thought this was the same movie. What are you where are people coming from? And that's the difference. And that's why, like, I know we're probably going to get the Joker. We're going to get a Joker scene in the trailer. Probably going to get a Martian Manhunter scene in the trailer because Zack doesn't give a fuck right now. It's gonna cause people to go, wait, I
This
thought
isn't that movie. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I truly think that, like, you know, I'm a little sad that the marketing, and it's not Zack's fault. I think it's more or less the parent company's fault. You know, that the marketing's not as, you know, it's not being as well handled as I thought it would be. But I guess that's our jobs, right? We're gonna assume the responsibility.
We did that November before we knew that a movie was coming out. So yeah.
Yeah. And everyone has a billboard right in their hand. Everyone needs to, you know, share it, spread it word of mouth when it comes out. And it's going to be a great time. I truly, and we'll have to have you back after the cut debuts, so we can definitely talk, you know, more in depth about how it came out and you know, what we know then is it's going to be really fun to talk about, hopefully future projects.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, man. And you know, Drip, what do you think of this Ultimate Edition? Because you've never seen this one, right?
Yeah, I'm still not finished. I told you earlier when we were having that conversation, guys, that I had to pause it so I could kind of focus. So that's why you didn't hear nothing from me. You want the honest answer? The watered down answer.
No, man, I'd rather have the honest answer because I'll be able to argue against them.
I'm still 100% on board with this sucks ass. I nothing is enjoyed. Nothing. I've smiled one. I haven't smiled once. I am.
Well, is that
still very much bored?
That's fair. So in order, is that for a movie to be enjoyable for you, you have to smile during it?
Not all the time, but yeah.
Well, no,
it's a preference, yeah.
Okay, so you probably would not like Midsummer or Mother or Black Swan or let's see. There's a lot of movies like that. But I mean, have you seen any of those movies?
I mean, there's plenty of movies like that I do like. For example, I think Dirty Darko falls under that category. No, like that movie very much. That's very much a complicated thinking man's kind of movie. I like that movie very much.
I wouldn't put that in the movies that I mentioned, but yeah, I mean, that's Donnie Darko isn't like a happy-go-lucky film. You know?
No, not even kind of.
Well, I was just saying, like those movies that I mentioned, I love those films. Or even like Ex Machina or
that's a great film.
Or Annihilation. Those films are fucking amazing, but you're not going to be smiling one fucking bit in them at all.
Not at all.
You're going to be like, holy shit, what am I watching?
Yeah.
And again, you know, nothing against if you don't like those films, dude, that's okay. I would never be like, well, you're a fucking moron because you don't like what I like. It's just, if those aren't your films, and I wouldn't be able to change your mind. You like, nobody is going to change your mind except you. And the beautiful thing is that you always have that right. You can always change your mind. If you're like, yeah, of course, maybe I don't like it. Maybe I do like it. I don't know. I just know that for me, like when I watch films, I'd much rather be involved and feel like I'm there and feel like I can relate to it and get a piece of like, holy shit, what would this happen if I was involved? Versus me watching something and going, I wouldn't be involved in that because it's too fake that it doesn't make sense. And I'm not saying other companies do that. I'm just saying like, I just don't. Those kind of movies don't really do anything. I just kind of like. But you know what I mean?
Not you guys. I was going off the comment. My bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's why I'm giving you shit about the smiling thing because I'm like, well, I mean, if that's what makes a movie like enjoyable for you, then who am I to sit there and say, no, that's not right, dude.
Well, allow me to clarify, right? When I say smile, I don't mean it needs a comedy aspect, right? That has nothing to do with it. When I say I would like to smile, means there's something of enjoyment to have here.
Right.
I'll smile about a bunch of different shit. It doesn't have to be a joke or a comedy or like, for example, Ill Life said Gladiator. Yeah, I smiled when I saw Gladiator because it was badass. I was like, oh, that's cool. This movie did that 0 times. 0 times did I watch this movie and got excited or felt good or any kind of positive reaction to this movie at all.
Well, and you know why? The reason why it could be because of 2 things, right? One, this is your first time watching it, the UE edition, right? 2, no, nothing against us, but we're distracting you. You know what I mean? Like, would you watch this by yourself? Probably not. You're not going to watch this film. The reason why you're watching it right now is because of us. At the same time, it's not the same experience as if you were watching it by yourself, right? But you're not going to watch it by yourself. Like that's why I said I can appreciate you watching it, because it's not like we're going, man, I'm salivating to watch this film again. Like, no, you were like, I mean, I'll do it. If I had my druthers, I'm not going to watch the film, but so it is different to like, dude, you're not gonna, not you, but I mean, you're not gonna see me fucking watching Ant-Man. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be watching Ant-Man or even Thor or fucking. I
probably won't watch Thor either, honestly, if it makes you feel better.
Well, right, and I'm only saying that because those are a lot of those films. A lot of people watch those all the time, and so I'm going. I just couldn't watch those, but if somebody was like, "Hey, we want to invite you and do something with it," okay, then maybe sure I'll watch it. I won't watch it like I've watched BVS before, but I mean, would it be the same experience as if I watched it by myself? Probably not. And so I will say that I don't think you just not enjoying it is because you just don't enjoy it. It's not necessarily about, you're not saying any part, because I have yet to hear you say, this is a fucking shitty film. All you've said is that you don't like it. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with you not liking it. You know what I mean? Like if you were sitting there saying this is the worst shot film ever, the cinematography is horrible, the dialogue is trash, then I'd be like, all right, now I'm getting offended because you're talking out of your ass.
You know what, guys? You know what did bother me at times? The score. What? The score bothered me a couple of times.
Okay, now you're out of your fucking mind. You're just trying to get me riled up, bro.
I was muted when it happened, honestly, too.
And for anyone, for anyone that like, I already knew that he was gonna say the same exact thing.
Yeah, I've said it.
And he did before and after. It's trying to, and I'm not comparing him. I'm not comparing. I want to get this off my chest.
No, not really.
Clarified. I want to clarify this first. I'm not comparing Justice to Jody. But it's like watching the Ultimate Edition with Jody and trying to get him to like it. It's never going to happen.
It's not going to happen for anybody who doesn't like this movie.
Right? He's
going
to continue the facade because he didn't want.
Well, it's not a facade because he doesn't want he's not he's the only person that could change his mind. Nobody else.
No. I'm saying if he did like it, right? Even if this changed his mind, he's not going to admit to it.
Oh, and again, the only thing I wanted to make sure of was that any reason of why complaining about it, he brought it up, right? And I mean, Drip, am I wrong? You brought up all these complaints, and what happened? I went, no, that's not a real complaint. So at the end of the day, the complaints kind of went away. It's just you don't like the film, and that's fair. I can't argue an aesthetic, and I can't argue subjective choice. I can argue objective reasoning, right? When you were talking about the Senate and the committee and why doesn't this, I can argue those points, but if you're like, nah, I just don't fucking like it. And I'm like, well, I can't. I mean,
I can't hold you.
And that's what I was trying to explain in the first place. Like everybody leading up to this, everybody and their mother was like, oh yeah, I can't wait for you to watch the Ultimate Edition. You're going to love it. And like, no, I'm not. I'm not. Because I didn't need
but you don't think
a lot of like, there was questions answered, but a lot of it up to this point, because the kids like him and Jack and yourself, Garza, that, a lot of those plot points were filled already before watching this. You know what I mean? I've already had people explain certain things to me. So I already got the idea, but I still was like, oh, that's why I never went ahead and watched the Ultimate Edition when somebody explained it to me, because plot points weren't my issues coming into this movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or coming out of it.
Yeah, it just wasn't enjoyable. But
you don't think
it's plain and simple.
I can get you to admit this though, right? That is a fucking well-made film. You cannot tell me that is a shitty fucking looking film.
God, no. I said I've been saying it. I love Zack's visuals.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
No, right.
Love
And that's why I'm saying, like, that's why whenever I hear that, and I'm like, you guys are fucking crazy if you're going to sit there and say,
see, that's not something I hear often. I don't hear that. Because I would argue that too. It's beautiful looking.
Hey, you didn't like it? Fuck it. I don't care. I mean,
mission failed, boys.
Yeah, like I hated Endgame. Like,
well,
yeah, really.
I don't know. I don't know if it was a mission failed, because if I'm going, someone's telling me like, hey, I got to bring you to this restaurant. You know, there's this thing that you're really gonna love there, and I audit if right from get right. I've never had that dish before, but I go into it with like, nope, I'm gonna fucking hate that. I've had something like it before. I've seen something like it before. If I go into it with hatred and a predisposition hatred or dislike of it, chances are I'm not gonna like it. Right? I don't think you went into it with an open mind, and therefore your mind would never be changed. And I don't think that you'll ever change your mind. And that's not something that anyone should tell you have to do. The fact that you're not belligerent about it, the fact that you're not
you're not sitting there talking shit about it all the time.
Doing streams and saying fucking Zack is racist and him and Ray Fisher are in cahoots. Right? We all respect your decision to not like it.
Nobody does that.
You're talking about Jody said
I will say,
I know that's that one.
Name the one guy who did that.
Yeah.
No, I said there's only one guy who does that.
Do you think I just made that up?
I said there's one guy who does that.
There's several.
I've never heard it.
But there are a lot of haters out there who I go on like a lot of these message boards. There is a lot of hate. Not like, oh, like Justice isn't that bad. He's like, look, I didn't like it. There are some people like, oh my God, they say horrible things about Zack, his family, you know, and I'm like, dude, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But like, it's not enough for them not to like it. And again, I'm not talking about Justice. I'm talking about like the people out there. They don't want you to enjoy it. They hate that you like this movie. It's like, they can't just be like, whatever.
I will say that this was a successful mission, because I can tell you that Drip had his reasonings for why things didn't make sense. He had those questions when we were watching it. So he was upset at those answers not really being fulfilled. But now he's had those answers fulfilled. So there's no way that he could. And so that's why I'm saying, like, I think it's a success, because those answers were,
it's answered. Fair enough. Yeah.
And so it's just now it's just literally down to I just didn't fucking like it. I don't. There's nothing that you could do, or nothing that I could say or anyone could say. They go, yeah, but it's like, well, fuck it. Seriously though, like what you've seen in Justice League, like what are you thinking?
I'm thinking I'm getting the exact same thing I just got here. Visually, I'm gonna have a great time. I'm gonna see a lot of cool shit, and I'm gonna look at it and go, wow, that looks good. But the rest of it, I'm not gonna be happy with. I'm assuming it's gonna be exactly the same.
I think it's gonna be the opposite for you, because what I feel like you would get your enjoyment from is seeing action, regardless of what's happening. It's just the action, right? And I think that this Justice League is going to be fucking stacked with action that you're going to be
at least able to enjoy myself. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's going to be a dynamic, because you're going to be seeing Aquaman and Flash and fucking Cyborg all teaming. Like the fact that we're going to get Batman and Wonder Woman team together and seeing the power sets kind of truck along. Obviously, they're not going to be the perfect team at the very beginning, but time they get Superman in the end, they're going to be a fucking full-on force. And I feel like you're seeing a lot of those set pieces, specifically like the history lesson is going to be unbelievable. Obviously, the nightmare is going to be crazy, but I don't think it's going to be as political like this film. Like I said, this film was a political film. There's no doubt about it.
Definitely.
Justice League is going to be like, hey, we need to get these superheroes together, but like
shit's going down. Yeah, shit's going down. Yeah.
It's so down. We got to go.
So what in that specific scenario, Garza, as to why, like that you're right, technically, that I will enjoy that, but that's on the most basic of levels of enjoyment for myself, right?
Right.
I think the main difference here with Marvel, we had like, what was it? The first Iron Man came out in 2008. Avengers came out in 2012, right? And there was a bunch of movies in between.
2008.
So there was a lot of
2008.
Yeah. So there was a lot of time and a lot of build up and a lot of time with these characters that when they came together, I was like, oh, that's awesome, right? You know what I mean? I'm not getting that here. I didn't spend any time with 90% of these characters. Even Batman, I only spent half of a movie because he was sharing it with Superman. Superman's the only one who's had his own movie at this point.
Well, right, but also keep in mind that in Justice League, we were supposed to see a lot more of Batman and then these other characters.
Sure.
So they were going to feel like you were going to see Cyborg and you were going to see Flash. We weren't really going to see Flash's origin, and we weren't going to see Aquaman's origin because that was supposed to be literally in the plan of having their own films. And guess what? We would have seen the Aquaman film after. It would have been after Justice League, and we would have seen Flash after Justice League, and then we would have gone into Justice League 2. And also had a Batman film. So the story arcs would have been there. So you're right. We didn't get to spend as much time as the other films in Marvel, but you start adding it all up, and it starts getting into that time frame. You're spending more time with these characters now because guess what? It's not Civil War where you're bringing all these characters together, and now everything's kind of branching off from that point of view. It's literally, it was Superman, and that's all it was going to be. It wasn't until, okay, well, I guess we'll have these spinoffs in these films. So, imagine these 4 hours. We don't need to see Wonder Woman's origin because we got a Wonder Woman origin, right? So, I mean, what are these 4 hours going to be about? Like, dude, you can't tell me that we're not getting a Flash or an Aquaman origin. We're barely getting a Cyborg origin. That's one character. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And we're not going to get like a Steppenwolf background because we don't need to, but we're also going to get introduced to Darkseid. So it's like, dude, we're going to spend a lot of time with these characters.
Yeah.
So,
So first and foremost, right? Marvel's the first one to do this whole cinematic universe thing, right? So I guess for myself, and I'm gonna speak for a lot of people as well, because I feel like this is the case. We're used to that formula, right? You get an individual hero movie, then you get your team ups, right? Now I get DC has to come at their own approach. I get that. I don't expect them to do things the way Marvel does. It just seems ass backwards, and it's not the presentation is not there, right? Like I'm not. It's not.
They were fucked whether they did it or whether they didn't, right? If they do it just like Marvel, guess what? They're copying Marvel. They don't have their own style.
They're fucked either way. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So guess what? I'd rather be fucked
fair enough.
in their own fucking way and not do like Marvel.
Fair enough. Okay, that's fair. You got that. That's fair. I just
it sucks because you're right. Marvel did do it first, and you know what?
Well,
it's perfect. That's great, but look what it did to me. Like it didn't do it. It literally did the opposite. I went, no, this shit's too fucking boring and basic. Like, you know what I mean? And
it's that simplicity I was talking about earlier. Yeah. It's simple,
and it's nothing wrong with anybody that likes that. You get what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, at the end of the day, I was watching it. I wasn't excited. I wasn't having a good time. But when I saw Man of Steel, and then when I watched BVS, I was like, holy shit, this is a film made for me. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, this.
People, and to answer the you speaking for a lot of people, but when X-Men first came out, they didn't have origins for the X-Men. When Guardians of the Galaxy came out, they didn't have origins for the Guardians of the Galaxy. They went straight into a team-up film. The X-Men even went far enough to do origins after the fact, but people never had a problem with it then. It's only now that they have a problem with it. And it's because things come with Zack.
I mean,
that aren't about his films. They're about the way. Yes, because you have no problem with Logan.
Calm the fuck down, first of all.
And Logan gets in the X-Men.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Storyline. You have it with Zack in his films.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is a lot of I'm not sure what you're referring to with this X-Men thing, because a lot of people shit on X-Men on a regular basis, including me. I shit on X-Men has about 3 films that I like. I don't know what the hell you're talking about there. everybody
Talking
shits
about
on
the first
X-Men.
two, like those first two, I think that were kind of popular.
Those first two, and then everything after that was garbage. X-Men gets shitted on a regular basis. Guardian of the Galaxy is on a much, much smaller scale. Nobody even knows who the Guardian of the Galaxy is. Nobody gives a shit what they do with the Guardian of the Galaxy. Nobody knows who they are. Who gives a shit, right? We're not talking about Guardians. We're talking about the Justice League. We're talking about the biggest superheroes on the planet. Everybody knows Superman and Batman. These are the biggest names superhero-wise you could possibly ask for. And I think there should be some different.
So why
Absolutely
do
right. Let me ask you this question.
I'm not talking Batman, Superman for origins.
What are we supposed to do next time? So let's say 10 years from now, they want to do another Avengers team up. Well, they're going to have to recast Thor. They're going to recast Iron Man. Recast Hulk. So you're telling me that they're going to have to introduce us to those characters all over again for their solo films before they could be in Avengers
okay.
films?
No, not necessarily. No, because we've already had that big ass situation that is the current MCU.
Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
We had none of those characters on screen before, right? We had never seen an Avengers type film before, right? Are we right?
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Well, why does that only apply to Marvel? If that was the first time that we had seen something, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we've had how many Batman films? We'd had 7 already, right? Yeah. At that point in time in 2012, we had our 7th Batman fucking film. Superman. How many Superman films did we have? We had 5 Superman films. 6. Yeah. Before all of this, right? So, at what point do you go, well, we can only do that for Marvel, that have a team up film. If it's only now that we've had that team up for Marvel, that's the only way it can be done, because now we're going to recast. We can't do this Avengers team up. We got to literally do a solo film again and reintroduce these characters because they're going to be recast by different people.
Well,
I mean,
no, okay, right? No, okay. I see what you're saying. No, that's not what I meant. I get. So I should have clarified a little more. So on the DC side of it, first of all, what I was referring to is our lesser knowns, right? Wonder Woman kind of counts. A lot of people know Wonder Woman, but I'm talking more of the Cyborgs, the Flashes, and the Aquamans. Those we need time with them. Everybody knows Batman and Superman. We do not need time with them. That's fine and dandy. The whole on your Marvel side of it, right? Because we've already had the MCU, come the future time when they do, if they do recast all these characters and reintroduce them, no, because now they are on the same level as Superman and Batman. They were not on that level. Iron Man, Captain America, all those characters were not close to Superman and Batman at that time. But do
you think if they recast them, that the audience is going to accept it?
Yes, absolutely. The same way we've been accepting Batman this whole time. These are household names now. Nobody will give a shit. Nobody will need an origin.
You got to remember, here's the thing. If that was the case, guess what? Henry Cavill and Man of Steel wouldn't have been beat up by the critics, by all of them that watched Christopher Reeve, come out with his Superman. And I only say that because everybody, 2008, I was fucking 21, 22, in 2008, I think, or something like that. And there's a lot of kids that grew up watching RDJ being Iron Man and Chris Hemsworth Thor. They're growing up and now they're in their 20s, and they're not going to be able to accept another. Yeah, they're not going to be able to accept another character because they grew up with it. There's that nostalgia.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. I see exactly what you mean, because I still get kind of butthurt when I see Batman recast. Okay. All right. You got that. Fair enough. But that doesn't dictate and for the Man of Steel part of it, it's not an origin, like the introduction. I'm just guessing anyways, right? Them shitting on Man of Steel is not because his origin was messed up or something along those lines. It was our introduction to this rendering of this character. I think I used that word wrong. I'm not sure. But it's our introduction to get to know Zack's interpretation of Superman, and that was more of the problem. It's the way he acted, not his origin, not how he came to be. It's how he acts, how he carries himself, how he speaks, things of that sort. You feel me? If that makes sense.
No, it does, and that's what I'm saying. You're not going to be able to get away with having a brand new Iron Man team up with a brand new Captain America, teaming up with a brand new Hulk, and just accept that it's going to be okay. you're going to need to see those characters introduced because they've spent the last 10 years in this world, in this universe. You can't just go, oh yeah, well, here's Iron Man. He's teaming up with new Captain America. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Guess what? The beautiful thing is that we've never had a Cyborg on screen, and we've never had an Aquaman on screen. Never had a Flash on screen.
Yeah.
And so the beautiful thing about it is that you can literally kind of do your own thing with those characters.
And to jump on that, Drip, like, we don't know what the original Justice League was going to be like. The idea was, we know who Superman is, we know who Batman is, and Wonder Woman maybe not, but then she did get her movie before Justice League. The idea was, instead of doing the individual films, we're going to learn about Cyborg, Aquaman, and Flash through Bruce Wayne, because he doesn't know who they are. Like, we
okay.
He's going to meet them, and then that way, we learn about him through.
He's our surrogate. Yeah, he's our surrogate.
Yeah.
And
that's a great approach.
Yeah.
That's that. Okay. All right. Okay. So there's a light of hope, I guess, for that one area, right?
That's the whole reason why
I think that's what we're going to see.
Well, no, that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be that lone samurai trying to find his other samurai to help him out.
Yes, and I have heard that before.
Yeah, and it's through his not vision, but his lens that we're seeing these super beings of what they're capable of and what they're doing. And so, at the end of the day, do we need, like, I get the MCU part, because guess what? They weren't common. Now they are, and that's great. But people, regardless if they don't know who they are, all you'd have to do is literally show the Flash's superset speed. You don't need to see how he got those. I mean, you could be interested, of course, absolutely. Same thing with Wonder Woman and Cyborg. Like, Cyborg's going to get that origin, but Aquaman, he talks to fish, right? That's the big joke, right? But you don't need to get explained why all of that happens, even though there was going to be a full-on solo movie in 2018, Flash, and for Aquaman. There was a reason for those things. When we really go on and say, well, they needed more time, they were supposed to get more time. That was the whole point. Guess who fucked that plan up? It wasn't Zack. It wasn't like Zack saying, no, fuck you guys, I don't need y'all to do this. No, he was like, all right, I'm willing to play ball. It was the execs that fucked it all up. So, imagine Feige going, no, we don't need all this. Fuck the Guardians. Like, we don't need that. We don't need Ant-Man. Just get us to, Infinity War and introduce them in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So, so in all fairness, right, Marvel has little to no character development, right? They unless we're talking their solo movies, right? When we're talking their events like Avengers, Endgame, shit like that, there's no character development because they expect it's not. The best way I heard it described is Avengers is not a movie; it's an event, right? Like, this is people are coming together, shit's happening,
That's
right?
a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. So DC hasn't done it in that way. They are introducing. So my point being, there's going to be actual character development in this movie. So you got that. That's a fair point. We don't necessarily need an origin story or a solo movie beforehand, because there will actually be some sort of afterwards, of course. But leading into Justice League, we don't necessarily need it, because you will get to know these characters. There will be development throughout this film, something Marvel does not do.
Which again, you got to give it up for Zack, because I mean, the fact that he was planning this big of a fucking event and doing it his own way, without any kind of end credit scene, without trying to tease you like you had to come and watch everything. Because here's the thing, I watched Infinity War and Endgame. The last film before that I'd watched was Guardians.
Yeah.
So I didn't see anything else, and even with Guardians, the things I saw before that were Civil War. So I understood Infinity War and Endgame easily, perfectly, fine. There was no, I was never like, even when I'm watching WandaVision right now, I had no idea who any of these main characters who were in other films were. I didn't know who they were. But guess what? It's that easy of me to go, oh, it's that simple? Oh, okay, they obviously are important somehow, right? I mean, they give me the exposition that I need. I don't need to go watch Thor, and I don't need to go watch Ant-Man to understand these characters interacting with each other, right? I mean, that's... If I'm able to do that as a general audience Marvel fan, I feel like people should be able to do that with DC. Because I don't know shit about Marvel. But yeah, I'm looking at all these characters from Ant-Man and Thor,
Okay.
and I'm clearly understanding what's happening in WandaVision.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, arguably, it's easier on DC side because DC has more recognizable heroes than Marvel does. Like before MCU times, you know what I mean?
Right.
DC definitely has more.
Well, and even considering like Flash and Cyborg, or not Cyborg, but Flash and Aquaman, like those names are like
most people know them.
Yeah, most people know what their skill set or power set is. Like,
yeah, fair, absolutely fair.
I had no idea what the fuck, you know. Well, I don't even know their names, but you know, the Darcy, I think is her name.
Yeah, Darcy Lewis
from WandaVision. Yeah,
I didn't even know Monica Rambeau was a fucking, you know,
Captain Marvel. Yeah.
Like I had no idea. Like none of that shit even registered for me, and I'm like, I'm just going along with it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So if I'm a general audience, if I'm a general audience for Marvel and that shit's simple, then people should be able to go, I think I know who Flash is.
That's an absolute fair point. That's an absolute fair point.
Real quick, I actually do have to go, but I want to say, listening to just the two of you talk, it's actually really good. Before I came on, I was watching and I was typing and I was like, man, this is just Garza. It's so great to hear you engage with Drip. And I think it's good. I think, you know, I was
great.
This,
I loved it. I love a healthy debate.
Yes, exactly. And people get frustrated with Drip. I'm like, no, it's good. We don't want to have three people agreeing with each other.
Yeah, imagine if we were all just sitting here circle jerking. It'd be so fucking boring.
Exactly. And Drip has a right to his opinion, and I understand his opinion because I kind of felt like that about Snyders films at one point. I mean, I think I would say I'm a convert in the last 3 or 4 years, especially after Justice League, the original Justice League. But I just want to say thanks. I got to duck out, but I will have it playing in the background. And Garza, thanks so much for doing this, man.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. Yeah, and I'm about to go too, just because it's been, you know,
it's been real.
Wow. Yeah. No, like I appreciate it, man. I'm super excited about, you know, just kind of everything that we get, just because it's something that we've been looking for. I didn't think was going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're going to be getting some kind of trailer tomorrow.
12 hours.
Yeah.
Speaking, just, in my head, it's just so fucking
surreal.
It's surreal because, you know, looking at this shit, like I said, I was just watching Watchmen before I watched BVS, and it's like this Justice League film. I know people called me crazy when I was like, dude, I feel like this would be BVS and Watchmen together, and everyone was like, no way. Zach said it was going to be lighter, and I was like, yeah, I know Zach said that, but I also know that Zach's a fucking salesman. He's gonna say what he needs. Yeah, he's going to say what he needs to, you know, say the right things without hurting anybody's feelings. Mm-hmm. But it's all subjective. So him saying we're moving to a positive, you know, transition might still be a fucking another person's really dark version. Like it's not a, you know, it's not a like it's going to be a Marvel film or we're going to be laughing all the time. And so even when I saw the first trailer and it had all these jokes, I was like, oh, okay, I guess that it's going to be jokey. Then I fucking learned that those are Jeff Johns rewrites. And I'm going, holy shit, Zach shot his own film and then he shot a film for Jeff Johns. That's what we saw. And I'm fucking genius. And so it's legit, man. I'm so happy that we're going to get this fucking film.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
Well said.
Yeah. But we have almost hit that 4-hour mark. So I'm gonna most like, you know, not that I couldn't go for another couple hours, but we all do have a big day ahead of us. Garza, seriously, as always, thank you so much, so much for joining us.
Love having you.
Yep.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So if you know, if you want to give yourself I mean, I know everyone probably knows where you're at, but if you'd like to do the whole at Twitter and
absolutely, man. You know what? We got to get you guys on our
yeah, man. We're always open.
We can do that. Yeah, I know y'all are both on the east side, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Not east side.
Yeah, we can call it the east side.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you do it? East side?
No, that's what.
No, that's west.
Yeah.
East, or man, I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean, though. I'm not a.
You get shot for putting that shit up, okay? Yeah, no, but so is my co-host Ben. He's on the East Coast, so Yeah, we'll get there. But if anybody wanted to, check us out, we're on the ReelInmotion. We go live. Our live streams Wednesdays at. I always get the time messed up at 8 Eastern. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Because that would be 10 Eastern. Sorry, because it's 9. So Wednesday's 10 Eastern and Sunday's 6:30. But tomorrow, because of the trailer, we might be breaking it down, and we're going to try to bring on somebody to see if you might be able to break down the trailer for us. So we'll see. But we'll start at 6 Eastern.
Heard. Well, I look forward to it. I really do. You're always welcome here. Doors always open for Garza. Again, one of our favorite people. And I will definitely be in touch about something I need a little help with. In the next week or two. I think I've already kind of mentioned it to you. Oh no, I don't think I have actually. But you'll be hearing from me very soon. Guys, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and you ring the notification bell. It's very convenient. Lets you know when we go on, which is actually starting to be like daily, I guess, if you will. We also have the link for the new Patreon program that we're doing. The link is in the description. You'll get access to exclusive like podcasts 1 day early. You can join a stream per month. That's like a watch party kind of deal. Obviously, it could be like a guest thing, but we'll let you know ahead of time if it's a yes or no. You'll get yearly gifts and 10% off the store. For your whole life. What?
You're losing money. You're losing money if you don't pay.
Losing money. And then we do have a couple other things going on. All the links are in the description for those. And you can find our social medias and podcast platforms. From me to you, I love you. And next time we talk, we'll have seen Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer.
Yeah, can't wait.
Can't wait.
Later, boys.
Later, man. Good night, everybody. We will see you. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. sharp. Don't fucking miss it.
Yeah.
I closed my phone by accident. That was not my fault.
Should have ended right there. Would have been perfect.